Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of the DRM Gamecast. I'm your host, Mr. Black Magic, and here with me, the cynic DOA Head,
What's up, everybody?
Reporter Rand,
Why Reporter Rand?
uh, news, Rumor Rand? There you go, Rumor Rand. And our weekly guest this week is Carnage. Welcome to the show, Carnage.
Thanks. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Well, we got a lot
For the record, we don't actually know Carnage that well. He's kind of our first guest that's not like
our first
a regular
guest.
friend that we don't talk to every day anyway.
Yeah.
So that should be noted.
It's all good.
We'll get into some arcade stuff since we all know Carnage loves arcade games. But
Arcade games? What are those?
Games are games. Let's get started with some Gamescom news. Bunch of shit came out of Gamescom. One of the biggest ones was Tomb Raider being announced as Xbox timed exclusive.
Oh, the controversy.
and that's Xbox One and 360, so it is cross-gen.
That's the biggest news right there. Fucking cross-gen in 2015.
At the holiday 2015 too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they ever say how long the time exclusive was, since there was a big hubbub about it?
No. But I don't really see how people are going to get mad at them for not, like, really specifying on what the details were. I mean, they announced it at their own press conference. They're not going to sit here and cater to the PlayStation fans like, oh, and don't worry, PS fans, we got you. We'll let you know everything. It's like, no, they want to tout it as an Xbox thing.
I don't know. A lot of PlayStation fanboys were not happy that day.
There was
for a while.
There was a petition that went up. Actually, it had like 10,000 votes in 24 hours.
It's just like the Devil May Cry 4 petition.
What?
That nobody gave. Oh yeah, remember when it made the jump, because it used to be like a PlayStation exclusive, and then 4 was like 360 and PlayStation. PlayStation fanboys had a fit about that. They've made this big petition about it, trying to get Capcom to make it a PlayStation exclusive again. I don't know, it's whiny fanboy bullshit.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. Like, when? Don't give it to them. What?
I'm just saying, it's stupid shit.
What do you guys think? You think that'll be big for Microsoft, having it timed exclusive?
I mean, I don't think it'll be big, but I mean, I think it'll do okay. I mean, considering it's going to come out at the same time as Halo 5, I think it's probably going to get overshadowed.
It's stupid. It's retardedly dumb.
It seems like it's mainly to combat Uncharted.
Which it's not going to be able to do.
Well, I mean, I think it's supposed to be the 1-2 punch of like Tomb Raider and Halo 5 versus only Uncharted.
Well, they'll have something
that's announced.
else.
Yeah, I mean, you're just assuming it's just Uncharted.
Well, yeah, I know, but
could be Gran Turismo 7.
Well, do you really think they're going to drop like 6 exclusives in the month, the month Uncharted comes out? I mean, I doubt it.
No, they're probably going to try to spread them out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they usually do. That's what I'm saying. But
I look at this like two ways. Number one, I don't give a shit. Like, it pisses me off that Microsoft spent whatever they spent on it, right? $100 million. I'd rather Microsoft take the $100 million that they spent on this exclusive rights and actually, I don't know, maybe fund 6 or 7 other new games. Because I think we talked about this before, not necessarily in the podcast. We were all going to get Rise of the Tomb Raider anyways. It was always going to be multi-platform. We were always going to play it. Square Enix was always going to make it. This isn't a case of like they were going to cancel the game and it needed funding. Right? This was just Microsoft buying the exclusive rights to it. So to me, it's like they announced it exclusive, and as a gamer who owns an Xbox One, I just look at it as like, I don't care. Why not spend the money and make 6 more exclusive games that are truly exclusive to your system, that are unique, that you can sell?
Well, but that's the thing.
Not Microsoft's
it's not necessarily for us, because we already have an Xbox One. It's for
people
but on the fence.
Don't look at it from Microsoft's perspective. You see, you're looking at it from Microsoft's perspective. They're looking at I understand it from Microsoft's perspective. It's a big franchise. It'll sell systems. Just look at it from a gamer of Xbox One. What does it matter to you if Tomb Raider was multi-platform? You were going to get the game anyways, right? It was coming to Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So it doesn't matter. But they could have taken that $100 million or whatever and funded like 5 or 6 different games. I mean, hell, the NFL, the 400 million they spent on NFL. I mean, you realize like that could have funded 2 Grand Theft Auto 5s because Grand Theft Auto went for $200 million, and that's the biggest game ever. That's the problem I have with Microsoft.
I agree with you, but I can see their logic. Like that's an automatic thing. It's a guaranteed. People are gonna want to play. I mean, it's not necessarily guaranteed to convert a ton of people, but it's a guaranteed game. Versus if they try and make a new IP and then the game sucks, and then it doesn't matter.
Well,
it's like, do you want the guaranteed like triple play, or do you want to just
but stop looking at it from stop looking at it from Microsoft's perspective, DOA. Get that Microsoft penis out of your mouth. Start looking at it from a gamer perspective. What does it matter if?
Well, look, I'm not a big Tomb Raider fan anyway, so I really didn't care one way or the other.
Yeah, so why not?
I actually agree with you in the sense that I would have rather them spent the money on something else than Tomb Raider's all right. I'm not hating on the game, but I'm not like, oh, it's amazing. I'm so excited,
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I doubt it'll be all that different
them
from the last
taking
one.
the money and just making like 6 like small like Max the Magic Marker or Outlast type games. And I mean, you don't have to make one giant AAA game. They could have just made a few smaller games. I've been perfectly happy with that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that doesn't. I don't think those games sell systems, though. I'm not saying they're bad games because I love both of those.
Stop looking at it from Microsoft's perspective, DOA. Just look at it from a gamer perspective.
No, I mean, I'm just saying I don't think they should have made more. It seems like they've got plenty of indie developers out there right now. I don't think they need to make more indie games.
Yeah, they apparently have hundreds on the way already. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like saying to fund more indie games. I'm like, no, I'd rather you fund like a new
fund
AAA
more
title.
retail games. I'm not. I mean, they could. Okay, say they spent $100 million. They could easily
Which I doubt it was that high.
You really think it?
Well,
you don't think it was $100 million? I mean,
they paid half the price of Grand Theft Auto for 6 months. That seems.
What do you? Okay, so so what do you think it was? Microsoft has to pay for the cost of the PS4 versions that aren't going to be sold, plus the marketing. There's probably looking close to $100 million.
I mean, I'm not sure, but that just seems like a lot. I would think 40 to 50.
I mean, the Titanfall
because it's not like it's
the
not
Titanfall
coming.
thing was.
I would agree 100
million
if it was completely exclusive, but the fact that it's still going to come out on PlayStation, presumably around 6 months later. I mean, there's still going to be copies sold on the Play. Obviously, not as much as it would have been had it been day one, but I mean, it's still going to sell copies. So
that's my big problem with Microsoft. I'd rather them just fund new games, maybe take that money that they would have spent, reinvested it into their first party studios, hire people worth a damn so we can actually get halfway decent fucking first party games.
They did. Instead of relying Gears of War.
Instead of relying that's another problem. We were all excited for Black's Tusk's new IP. And then of course when they canceled that so they can make Gears of War, we were angry. Why were we angry? Because I want a new fucking IP. I don't want Gears of War. I played 4 Gears of War. I'm fucking done with Gears of War. But I understand, from Microsoft's perspective, Gears of War, they just spent a bunch of money on it, and it's going to move systems. But from my perspective, I want something new.
Well, what if they do make something new, and then it's a bunch of crap, and then you're like, well, look at it from my perspective, Rand. This is a bunch of bullshit. What do I care? I mean...
Oh. Well, it's not like this is a Bayonetta situation where Tomb Raider wasn't going to exist without Microsoft funding it, like Nintendo did. Like Rise of the Tomb Raider was coming out regardless with Square Enix funding it. So this is just essentially Microsoft just paying Square Enix to fucking fuck over PlayStation fanboys essentially. It's like they're paying them not to put it on PlayStation.
I don't know. When you say it like that, now it sounds good again.
Take that Microsoft piece out of your mouth, do it.
Like I said.
What do you think they should have made, Carnage? You're in charge of Microsoft $100 million. What do you tell them to make?
I mean, I see both sides of that, but I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Tomb Raider fan either. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I like the kind of the indie ones. The one that was on arcade, Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, and the Guardian of Light. I mean, that was a different type of Tomb Raider, and that was
Well, actually,
that was
we are
fun
getting another one of those though.
What's that?
We are getting another one of those though.
Yeah, that one comes out like December 8th. It's 4-player co-op
Right,
too.
but that's in addition to the other Tomb Raider game, right? There's like 2 different games. Okay, correct.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I mean that was fun in its own right as well. So looking to see them branch out and maybe make different types of Tomb Raider games, not just the same old formula like you said, or even a different IP as well. So
I didn't really play the older ones, back on PlayStation and stuff, but I really liked the last one that came out. The remake.
Maybe they could hire better developers at Twisted Pixel, so their next game isn't a piece of shit. Like Loco
Yeah,
I think the
Cycle was.
developers are fine. Loco Cycle was just a bad idea.
I love Twisted Pixel games as well, but that one, that was where it kind of dwindled.
That was just a bad idea. I think there's still talent there. Hopefully they'll make a comeback with their next game, provided it's not Loco Cycle 2.
Give me Max and the Magic Mark or Max and the Curse of the Brother 2, please. I'll gladly
That's
take
not
that
Twisted
sequel.
Pixel. That's press play.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, fucking make another one of those with that money.
I don't know too much about it, but they did announce an ID at Xbox game. Press Play is making Project Totem, I believe. Not too sure too much about that game, but
Is that the one that was on the
code
poster
name.
of the kid's room in Max and the Curse of Brotherhood? There was
They had a little tease for it.
Yeah, like if you watch the
Possibly.
little cutscene in the beginning and the end of that game when he's in his brother's room, there's like posters on the wall. One of the posters is for Tentacles, and then there's another one for like a game that has never came out, but it said like press play on it. I think it might have been something Totem too. Now that you've said it.
Yeah, that's probably it then.
Well, we also got to see Quantum Break first gameplay. What'd you guys think of that?
Looks
Badass.
pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I wasn't really too excited for that game, coming out of E3, but that gameplay looked pretty damn good.
I gotta be honest, I didn't check out the gameplay yet, but I remember seeing the original trailer, and they didn't show any gameplay then, so it was hard to tell. But I'll be interested to see what you guys think about that.
It's a third-person cover shooter with time manipulation powers. So you can like slow down time or like speed up time, and, like charge. Does he charge his gun or like he like shoots all of his bullets, but then like
Yeah, well, it's like
has
he
time
like,
go again?
He like stops time, but then he's still able to shoot all his bullets, and then he like continues it, so then they all hit at the same time. That was pretty cool.
I haven't played it, but that sounds an awful lot like Time Shift, but not first person.
Ugh, time
know.
shift. Ugh.
This looks way better than Time Shift.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it, but I mean, it's probably the similar concepts.
Well, did you
I don't
play
know.
either one of the Alan Wakes?
Yeah,
I played the arcade one.
it definitely seems like more of a shooter version of Alan Wake.
Ah, okay.
I'm kind of
Because
interested in
Remedy
seeing what
made
they.
Alan Wake and they made. See, it almost looked like a perfect mix because they're the company that made Max Payne and
Yeah,
Alan Wake, and it did look like
it did
here's
look
a
like Max
splice
Payne.
of Max Payne.
Yeah.
And like if you splice those two games together, this is the game you get.
Yeah, I was getting some Max Payne vibes watching that gameplay, and definitely Alan Wake's. Yeah, that's a perfect.
Yeah, it has the look and the storytelling of Alan Wake with like the action of Max Payne. So I don't know. That seems like a guaranteed badass game.
And this will be a sarcastic remark, but the thing I'm looking forward to most about that game is the TV show.
Well, see, that's what they didn't even show anything about how the TV stuff ties in, and that's my only knock on the game so far. I don't really know how good that's gonna be. Seems, I really don't think I'll care for it.
Is it really a TV show though? I thought it was just like 30-minute cutscenes that were like live action.
That's long cutscenes. I mean, maybe not compared to Metal Gear or something, but your average game,
Yeah, if
that's
it's got like
long
8
as shit.
chapters, that's like what, like 4 hours.
Well, they may not
of,
be
like,
30 minutes.
shit?
I was just throwing that number out
Well, I
there.
thought
mean, it might
the
be
whole
like 10
like the
minutes
TV
or
show
something.
deals with the villains. Like they flesh out the villains through the TV show and stuff, or through the live action stuff.
Although the whole TV episodes, that's always kind of been a theme of Remedy. Like if you go back to Max Payne, they always had that like Captain Baseball Bat Boy shit on the TV, and then on Alan Wake, you had that whole TV show. Like, every little house you went into would have that like night something TV show on, and you could even stop and just watch the TV.
Well, every episode ended with like a song, and then the credits, and then the next one would be like previously on Alan Wake. You know?
Well, not just that, but I'm talking about actually within the game. It would be like Night Shadows
Oh, yeah.
or something.
Night
Remember, like on
Springs.
in the cabins, yeah, Night Springs. Like you'd go in the cabins and the TV would be playing Night Springs, and you could literally just sit in the cabin and watch the Night Springs episode that was on the little TV instead of like progressing with the game. So I mean, it almost fits their MO. So.
I wonder if you're gonna be able to just skip the TV segments in the game. you're just playing through the game, and then it's like, all right, 30-minute cutscene time. Skip.
They'll probably throw in an achievement to make you watch it or something.
Yeah, beat the
Or,
game
like,
watching
do a
all
little-
cutscenes.
Well, yeah, that seems like your big slap into the face to them if you're just skipping all those. We got this great cutscene for you. We got all these actors, and nope, skip. That should be good though.
Anyway, how about Super Hot?
One
Super hot.
yeah.
Super hot.
I
all you
love
get
that
from the
trailer.
teaser.
I like that trailer. Maybe
I
it's-
like the gameplay and the way it looked, but I
Very
hated the
unique,
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Magic, that's the game everybody loves, that because you can play it with Oculus Rift. So, like, people
Oh,
are
really?
saying, like, because the whole concept is, like, time only moves when you move, you know?
Mhm.
So people are getting shot, and with Oculus, you can, like, look around and, like, go underneath bullets and, like, look up at them and stuff, since you're actually in, you know, the virtual reality of the world and stuff.
Oh, that
Right.
does
But
sound
people,
pretty cool.
people who played it said it's like really, really, really good. Especially with Oculus Rift. But a lot of those games, like Smite, that third-person MOBA game,
Mhm.
I believe that started as a phone game. It's on PC now. It's a free-to-play game. But people say it's a pretty good MOBA, and it's more action-oriented than, say, like Dota 2 or League of Legends.
The only thing that half interests me about that was the fact that it was like Thor and Hercules and a couple of other recognizable names versus just a bunch of random League characters or random World of Warcraft characters or whatever.
See, I liked it at Xbox stuff. Like, it doesn't bother me that... Like, I'm currently playing 1001 Spikes. The graphics and how it looks, that doesn't bother me. I know it bothers some people. I know, like, the way Super Time Force looked bothered people, but, like, I don't know. I like all that stuff. I like all the different type of things we're getting. Yeah, obviously those don't look as good as Call of Duty or Halo, but
Right.
these games are not supposed to be. They're made on shoestring budgets and stuff, by a few people.
Exactly,
know?
and it comes down to, it's a next-gen system, yeah, that's correct, but I mean, it's not always about graphics. It's definitely about, providing unique and fun gameplay, and a lot of these ID at Xbox games, as you said, these games sound really interesting and different, so should be interesting, should be fun.
Well, you gotta like it because you before you're only getting 200 points out of games, Carnage. Now you can get that full K.
Yep. No, there's
Be at a
definitely
million in
bunch
no
of,
time.
Bunch of cool indie games already on there. Like you said, 1001 Spikes is one of my favorites as well, right now. Definitely one of the hardest too.
Yeah, another game they showed was The Escapist, which fuck me if it's hard to find that game if you just Google it, because there's a video game site called The Escapist. But
Yeah, that's a Team
That's-
17 game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's from the makers of Worms. Ran is a happy camper. He's such a big Worms fan, people.
hey, that game
can't
looked
agree with
really
that
good
one.
though, man.
I do like the Worms games, but they all feel the same after a while.
Because they are all the same.
Yeah, I mean, if you like that, then it's more of the same. Then so be it.
Lego,
That's
Lego's
worth
all
it.
the same.
Admittedly,
know-
the Escapists look nothing like Worms.
Did you know Worms Battlegrounds? They just took Worms Clan Wars, which was a PC game, and just renamed it Battlegrounds to sell again on the 360 and
Sneaky.
PS4. It's the same exact game. They just took the PC version and renamed it. Just like a sell.
And
again.
charge you
Awesome.
$25.
And charge you $25 for it.
Mm.
Congratulations. But the one like indie game I'm looking like in that montage of stuff was Inside. Oh, yes.
Is that the one that's kind of like Limbo, or is
Yeah,
it by
it's
the
from
same
the
made by the
makers.
same
Oh,
It is from the
makers
same
made by the
person.
same
Okay,
people.
cool.
Like that.
What's
I mean,
that other game? I keep forgetting the name of it. They showed it during the montage too, and it's real film noir looking. The one with the
Black
guy
and
in the hat.
something? Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
it's like
I
a
can't think of the
detective or
name.
something. He's got the hat and the jacket, and everything's like harsh black and white. That should look badass.
Well, plus Sony sold a lot of like indie games that are coming first to Sony, but eventually will make their way to Xbox One as well, and some of those look pretty cool too. So,
Like what? I didn't watch the PlayStation Pro
Ninja
conference.
Theory's new game, Hellblade. From the makers of Enslaved and Devil May Cry and Heavenly Sword, their new game is first to console on PlayStation. I mean, No Man's Sky. That's first to console on PS4, but it'll eventually come to Xbox One.
Yeah, that sucks. That I have to sit and wait on that one.
Oh, I'm sure we'll have enough ID at Xbox games to hold us over until that one.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we finally got a game this week. Don't forget. I don't know if it counts as an ID game. Probably not, but
What?
No, it is.
Yeah, I
pinball?
believe it does.
Is it?
Zen
Yes.
Studios.
It does count?
Are you talking about pinball?
yeah, I was gonna say because we finally got a game after like a month and a half of nothing.
Yeah, I believe
just
it is. Zen Studios published, self-published, so it should be ID at Xbox. I believe. I could be wrong, but I think so.
And good on them for delaying the game so people can import their tables from the 360 version.
Definitely. And they did it a little earlier than expected. They said it would take another month, but they said surprise. Here it is.
I
They've
assume
been
you
posting
owned
on
all the
Twitter.
tables on the 360 version, Carnage, right?
I actually owned most of them because all the ones that had achievements on the 360. But then they started adding, a few more tables that after they reached the achievement cap. So I actually did buy the Deadpool table, and I think the Guardians of the Galaxy, and one or two other ones I was missing. But and then they also announced, I don't know if you saw this, but they also announced the Walking Dead table is going to be coming out in about 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
Yep.
Although I probably won't be playing Pinball FX2. I'm not a big fan of pinball. And
Yeah,
if my
I'm not
recollection
gonna-
serve, isn't Pinball FX2 like isn't that a pretty fucking hard game? Like some
Yeah,
of those achievements
definitely.
pretty ridiculously hard.
Yeah, I mean, it does have the highest, the highest game TA score on the site, but then again, that game already starts with 2,200 on 360, so it's a little skewed, but it's still very hard. A lot of the achievements are. I probably
Well,
will
the other
never
thing that
complete
makes the other thing that makes it skewed is just how expensive that game is if you buy all those tables.
True. It easily over $100. I don't even know how much total, but
I counted up last night. It's 110.50 if you
Hmm.
wanted to buy all the tables on Xbox One.
And those are just the ones that are out so far. I mean, God knows
$150.
how many more they have coming.
yeah, they
How-
definitely.
what
have.
magic?
$150?
$110.50.
Oh, fuck, eat that.
But they got more tables coming, so it's obviously going to go up. And for some odd reason, they're only giving one achievement per table. So
No one likes
Yeah.
pinball that much.
Yeah, right now apparently it only shows 1,000 gamer score, and the the other tables have 0. But the developer confirmed on Twitter that it was they're working on fixing this error. It's supposed to have 10 gamer score on each table.
yeah, no, keep it at 0. Just get there 1,000.
Didn't Outlast have that
Yeah.
same problem like day one though?
Yep,
where
they
the
did.
DLC
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah,
all
they did.
0 pointers. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, another big thing was new Silent Hill game was announced called Silent Hills with an S. It's plural now. There's multiple hills.
I think the
Directed by
S is
James
just supposed
Cameron.
to be. I think it's just S is supposed to be just like a 5 though, because the S kind of looks like a 5.
Nope, it's plural. There's multiple hills.
I was
now.
gonna say I just say it's directed by James Cameron. It's not Alien 2, it's Aliens, plural bitches.
Well, did you guys see all the buzz surrounding PT that Kojima?
People
out
going
on-
crazy over that shit. Supposedly it's freaky as fuck.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm guessing DOA probably doesn't know. This is PlayStation news. He's probably just tuned out. But they released a game on PlayStation 4 called PT for free, which is people thought it was a demo or something. I don't know. And it's a horror game. And then at the end of the game, there's a teaser, and it cuts to where it says Silent Hills, and it shows Norman Reedus is going to be the main star of the game, and Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro are working on it. So that seems like a pretty badass trio to me. Kojima, del Toro, and Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, hopefully
down
they
with that.
hopefully they revive Silent Hill in a good way. The last few have not been great, or not been really even good for that matter.
Well, speaking of that, they said when they were initially talking about the game, they wanted to make you pee your pants. And then after further discussion with Del Toro, they ended up changing their mind, and they want the game to make you shit your pants.
A step above.
Better get your diapers out,
Well,
DOA.
I wasn't gonna buy it until they changed it to shit. Now
Well,
I might.
I don't know. I mean, I was watching the Metal Gear stream they had yesterday for the Phantom Pain, and they were doing a Q&A, and they were talking about PT and Silent Hills, and he was saying how there's always this line that you're not supposed to cross with horror games because movies and stuff like that, people get too scared, they just close their eyes until the next scene goes. Or but if it's a game, you can't just close your eyes. The game doesn't continue if you don't keep playing, so people just shut off the game. And he was saying they don't give a fuck about that. If you're too scared and you're gonna quit the game, they don't give a shit. Quit the game then.
Have you seen some of the reactions of the people playing it?
Yeah, but I don't like watching those reaction videos. They seem too staged. Even if they're not staged, it's subconsciously staged. You know there's a camera pointing at you, and you know it's going to be filmed, and you know it's going to be put, people are going to watch it, so you're subconsciously doing things that you normally wouldn't do in the privacy of your own home.
Yeah.
You're not picking
Not
your
genuine.
nose, and it's not real.
Well, what if you didn't know there was cameras there? What if it was like?
But they do. I mean, really, you don't think they know?
I'm just saying. I mean, what if somebody just like all the Game of Thrones stuff, where all like their friends would like secretly film their reactions?
People in their house. These are people going into like a back room that's set up just for this game. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe if they were giving people demos to like go home to their house and then they had cameras set up in their house, then yeah, okay, now I believe
cameras.
it.
Yeah.
But if they're like, oh, please go into this back room and we won't listen or watch, yeah, sure.
Magic wants some paranormal activity shit. The whole house needs to be wired.
I mean, that's how you really get the real reaction, man. People throwing their controllers in those videos. I mean, come on. And they're like,
I'm pumped for it. I love Silent Hill, so I hopefully it's really good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a good horror game.
I wonder if that means Metal Gear is pretty close to being done then. If he's
he said they're wrapping up Metal Gear and they're starting to work on Silent Hills at the same time.
Oh, yes. That reminds me. I got to bring this up. Were you and Barney excited about the truck slipping on the shit?
I don't know if I would say excited, but it was kind of funny.
I brought that up with Ran yesterday. Yeah, I brought that up with Ran yesterday. He was like, "Wait, they liked that? Because that was stupid as fuck."
Oh, I didn't think it was stupid.
Well, it's like, why would a truck crash because it ran over shit?
Well,
I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
But it's not supposed to make sense. That's like Kojima humor that he just throws into his games. I mean, there's shit like that in every game.
It's the same shit with the box. Like you got the cardboard box.
That's so slapsticky though. That would take me out of the game though. Like if they're trying to go for like a serious story and a serious game, and then the truck crashes because it slipped on shit. I mean, that's like some Naked Gun crap.
Yeah, but that's not something that's just gonna happen. No matter what you do, you have to like set that up to happen. So
didn't you tell me that he actually told the horse?
Yeah, you can
or something?
Make the horse poop on command.
Yeah, there's like a button to make the horse poop. So unless you're like standing in the road, like pressing the button, and you see a car coming, you are obviously setting that shit up to happen. So you can't.
I'm gonna get that game and just fucking have the horse poop, just not even move, and just see the piles of shit. Just keep on.
Dude, if the horse can do that, that shit is OP, because you can already hang off the side of the saddle to ride right past people. Plus, you can just whistle and call it like it's Red Dead, where, you're near the end of the mission, just whistle it in.
I mean, does the horse have to stop? Because I just get this image of you, like, running away from the enemies, just telling your horse to shit the whole way. Like, you're just running away, just dropping little shit mines. I mean, it just sounds so beyond stupid.
I don't know. I don't know if you could do all that. You probably have to be
like everybody behind you's just stumbling over each other and falling over. They're all covered in shit. Like,
speaking of that, I don't know why, but now I just got the image of Goat Simulator when they showed, because they kind of made that seem like a big thing in the Xbox thing, right? They like paused for a second. It's like, oh shit, Goat Simulator?
Game of the year.
That's one of those games where it's like I don't really get it. Like, it's so stupid, but it's so stupid so people like it.
Exactly. That's why it's so entertaining.
I'm just not into stuff like that.
What is it?
When you say it's so stupid, that's where I get off the boat. Like, all right, well, it's stupid. No need to continue any farther.
It's just a novelty item then, I guess, in that sense.
I mean, what do you even do in that game? I just know it by title.
I think
fuck around.
Yeah, you just like do random stupid shit like smacking people and just.
I mean, is it like The Sims with goats or something? You're just like living out your little goat life.
Isn't it like open world in a sense?
Yeah, think of like a Saints Row GTA type of thing where you're just going around fucking around and you're a goat.
And there's probably no objectives. You just mess around. I'm guessing,
Yeah.
or maybe very limited, stupid objectives that.
Well, there's things
shouldn't
you
be.
can do which give you like achievements and stuff, and like there's even cheat codes you can put in for like I don't know. I've seen like streams of it and stuff. It's weird. It's like the most buggiest game out there. They intentionally made it and didn't fix any bugs because that's just what the game is, you know.
What?
Yeah.
They didn't
That's
fix any
serious.
bugs.
No, because they just wanted just like an experience where it wasn't. You know what you're getting. It's like a juvenile, jokey kind of game. It's not like supposed to be this real. I don't know. You know, it's just the bugs and all the stuff in the game are supposed to be like part of the fun. Like
It
you could be
adds to
doing
it,
something
right.
The charm.
crazy. Yeah, you're doing something crazy and the fucking goat just bugs out and all the people around just bug out and it just adds to what the game is, you know?
I
mean,
guess.
when it was announced on PC, everyone thought it was an April Fool's joke, and little did we know it wasn't. So.
So I think it's close to selling to 1 million copies too, and I want to say it goes for like $20. So
Did they say when that was coming out?
no, they didn't say anything about any of these games are coming out. So
Yeah.
The only one that
idea
they-
of Xbox.
the only one that they did say is coming out this year is that Ori and the Blind
Yeah,
Forest.
that's what I was gonna say. I think that one is coming.
That
out
looked
this
actually
year.
pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
I love the art style of the game. Like it looks. I don't know. I didn't really like the demo they showed where it was just outrunning like water coming up, but I mean it still looked cool.
Yeah, that's the thing with the idea of Xbox games. It seems like they just pop up randomly and they don't have a schedule yet. I mean, XBLA started like that, but it took them a while to actually make scheduled release dates for games every Wednesday.
Well, yeah, and this is one of those things where I think they're in a kind of a rush to just like here's this, we're
Well,
gonna
this
have
one-
this coming up just to get stuff out there.
Yeah.
This one's actually published by Microsoft though. I don't think it's an ID game.
Yeah. It's not.
Oh,
It's
okay.
published by Microsoft. Yeah. So.
That's why they
Nice.
keep hyping it for whatever reason. I mean, not
Did
that it
you
looks
kn-
bad, but I just don't know why that one got chose.
I
as
actually
opposed to the hundreds of
read
others.
from the Giant Bomb guys that the people that making Ori and the Blind Forest like they made the game and they never like met each other until like later on in development. Like, cause I guess like some of those people were in Los Angeles, some were in like the UK, some were in like Australia, and a
Oh.
bunch of people didn't even like they never even met who they're working with the game with.
Just face to
Kinda
face,
weird.
you mean?
Yeah, it's just like someone's doing something over in LA and someone's doing something in Australia, and they're just
Well, I'm
making
sure they
this
were
game.
on the phone and emailing and shit. There's no way they
Yeah.
were just like, oh, here, take over. A mystery person on the other side of the fucking world.
Yeah, they just never met face to face. Yeah, man. That's interesting though. Well, the best thing that came out, best looking thing that came out of Gamescom, was that oh so pretty Xbox One Call of Duty bundle.
It did look good.
I'd have to say that's super sleek and sexy white
Oh,
Sunset
you
Overdrive
gotta be
bundle.
kidding me. No,
Looks
for
much
all
better.
we don't need
for
this.
all the. Yeah, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, for all the color in Sunset Overdrive, such a colorful game. How come we get a white bland Xbox?
I'll
Because
tell you
they
why,
had-
Carnage.
Exactly.
Because they got a shitload of white Xboxes sitting in a warehouse somewhere
Yep.
that they got to get rid of.
From all
And
those
you go.
developer We Made This, all they did was take the We Made This sticker off, and there you go. Ship them, bitches.
Yeah, pretty much. You're right.
I'm not sure if I buy that though. You make it sound like it's like,
Yep.
oops, we accidentally made 1 million extra white ones. Somebody get some sandpaper and rub
Well,
off
they
the I
already-
made this on the
they-
front and ship it. I mean,
Yeah, but they made those like separate, and then they already had everything in place. All you gotta do is tell the people take that fucking writing off, which is easier now, because now it's just plain ass white, and then you just fucking mass produce that.
Yep.
I definitely agree with Carnage that I wanted a Sunset Overdrive Xbox. It was like graffiti covered or something like
Exactly.
that.
At
Yep.
the very least, some orange splashed in there. I mean, the whole game is like orange everywhere.
I think the Sunset Overdrive one's a better deal too, because you pretty much get Sunset Overdrive for free for $3.99, right? The
You get
Call of
the
Duty.
digital copy, right?
Yeah, it's a digital copy. The Call of Duty one, it's an extra $100 just for an extra 500 gigabytes. When you can go on Amazon, buy a 2 terabyte hard drive for like $60.
Well, see, that's what I was thinking. That's the one thing they messed up with this, because it doesn't even come with a Kinect, right? But it's still 500 just because of the
Yeah.
terabyte hard drive. The problem is, I don't think a lot of people who are really into Call of Duty like that, I don't really think they're worried about a terabyte full of hard, a terabyte big
Yeah, you're
hard
right.
drive.
I think.
Yeah.
A lot
Plus,
of
I brought
people.
this up to DOA yesterday. So, the game that comes with the Call of Duty one is the Day Zero edition, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's the one where you can get it on Monday, and you can play it a day early and get double XP and stuff. Now, let me ask you a question, Magic. Say I go at 10 a.m. to GameStop, or you know what? Say I'm working, so I can't go to GameStop to pick up my Call of Duty Day One Xbox until 5 p.m. at GameStop. Will I be able to play Call of Duty that day, considering it's a digital download code and it's probably going to be a 50 gigabyte download? Am I going to be able to play my Day Zero edition on Day Zero?
Well, wait, I mean, I don't know. You kind of abbreviated that conversation because we were discussing like, does this mean they're going to be 2 midnight releases, like a Sunday at midnight? All the Day One people can come pick it up, and then there's another one Monday at midnight for all the other editions.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Because if they do, because I mean, it does seem like the whole point of Day Zero is to get the game a day early.
Well, not everybody
which
can
means you
also
would need
can go at midnight on a Sunday. Maybe they got work on Monday, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean that is
Well, you
true.
could still go Monday morning. Well, I mean, why the fuck are you bothering then? I mean,
saying,
who gives a shit about a Day Zero edition if I'm too busy to get up and I've
Well,
got
maybe
to
you
work
just
all
want
day?
maybe
It's
you
like,
just
why the
want
fuck
Call
you
of Duty.
order it
Maybe you
anyway?
just want the Call of Duty. You just want the Xbox. I mean, I'm just saying, like, judging from installs and how it's supposedly this one's like more, has better graphics and higher resolution textures and all that shit. The Call of Duty Ghost was like a 40 gigabyte game.
Yeah, but I mean,
This
DOA
one's probably at
is
least
kinda
50.
DOA does have a point, though. I mean, if you're too busy, that's on you. I mean, what do they expect? What are they supposed to release the game on a Saturday? And
No.
cater
I'm just
your
saying. Let's say there isn't.
Just let us know if you're busy. We'll cater to your schedule.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm saying what what if there is no midnight opening on Sunday? It's just midnight on Monday like normal. So then you go to GameStop.
There will be. Well, I'd be surprised if there wasn't a midnight launch on Sunday, but yes, for the sake.
And if there is, the consoles will be sold at midnight as well, since you just said all the consoles come with the Day Zero edition. So.
Yeah. It's like, well, I got my Call of Duty at midnight, but now I can't fucking play it till 10 a.m. the next day because I got to download 60
well, that's
gigabytes.
the thing with Destiny. Me and you were planning on getting it digital, right? Are they gonna have the preloading stuff ready for Destiny, or am I gonna have to?
Well, they made it sound like at the press conference they weren't.
Because that's gonna suck if I'm ready to buy it and now I gotta wait, until the morning and people are getting it at midnight and I gotta. I mean, what time do they put stuff up on the digital on the store?
Usually,
like 2 or 3
I don't
in the
know.
morning
Sometimes
or
I've seen stuff up at 12 midnight. But usually not until like 12 a.m. Pacific time. So that'd be like 2 a.m. our time.
And then we're gonna have to download it, and who knows how big Destiny's gonna be.
I'm sure we'll find out eventually.
Really going to be a tough call to see, like, if you get the digital one or the early retail, and what actually you're able to play first. I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see.
Well, unfortunately, you can't preload a game you go pick up at GameStop. So.
Yeah.
What?
Well, because they're starting to do. Well, we haven't even talked about that. But one of the things they also said at Gamescom was that I guess they're going to start with the preloading. Mm-hmm. They specifically showed Forza Horizon 2 and FIFA. But I mean, obviously, if you're going to get the Day Zero edition at GameStop, you can't preload that. You'd have to pre-order it on the dashboard, assuming it has it, of course.
Right, but who knows how many extra updates you'll still need, even with the retail one. They always have other updates usually. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big games like that almost always.
Day one download of 20 gigabytes plus the fucking 60 gigabytes you got to download, 80 gigabytes.
Right.
You ain't playing Destiny today, son. Good luck.
Especially when everybody's trying to download it at the same time, so the servers just crash. Xbox Live goes down.
Plus, Microsoft
no achievements
has
for
this,
anybody for a week.
Plus, Microsoft doesn't you don't get any of the pre-order bonuses. So all the Destiny pre-order stuff, you wouldn't get all the Vanguard weapons.
I thought they did
Magic.
have some digital bonuses though. I thought they did have a digital pre-order.
Wow.
Yeah, with PlayStation, PlayStation's like a normal store. You get all the pre-order stuff with PlayStation, but Microsoft you don't, because they're a fucking step behind.
Yeah, that is actually pretty surprising. I didn't know that they don't even give any bonuses like that.
Nope.
Well, some of the first-party ones do though, because I mean, all the Rise and Dead Rising and Forza, they had the Day One edition, and if you get it off the dashboard, or you used to still get the Day One stuff with it.
Oh yeah, their own stuff you might, but I'm talking about Destiny. It's third party.
Oh yeah, third party, right.
Well, should be first party, but that's a discussion for a different
Well, I'm
day.
just saying, you made it sound like all games don't have that. So I was like, well, that's not exactly true. Some of the first party ones do have it. It's just
Yeah, I
not
see
all
what
the
you mean.
third party. I was just clarifying.
Any of you guys gonna get the Call of Duty bundle, or FIFA, or Sunset?
Well,
Nope.
FIFA's only available in the UK, so I don't think we're
Since
getting that.
now you have 10 different options to buy the Xbox One. What game you want? What hard drive you want? You want to connect? No.
Nobody wants Connect.
Yeah, well, Microsoft said Connect's not dead, so no, that's what I'm going off of.
Well, there was that one ID game that was Connect, I saw.
Oh, I think it was
So-
called Fru. Was that it?
What you're talking about?
I don't
roller coaster one?
Oh,
No,
that was another
we didn't
one.
talk about that. No, not that. I'm talking about the one. It's during the montage. It's like, it looked like kind of a weird platformer where the little character
Yeah,
gets by
Carnage
and
is
your
right.
body.
It's-
Yeah, that's Fru.
Carnage,
yeah,
right?
that's
It's called
correct.
Fru, but then there's also Fruit Ninja Connect 2 as well.
Oh, right.
Oh,
right. Ninja
yes,
Gaiden 2.
yes,
I mean,
yes.
that was a decent, Connect game, I guess.
Yes, it was. It was
Not
pretty
bad.
good.
Blah.
I forgot about that one. I completely forgot. That's gonna be awesome.
But yeah, as for bundles, no, I'm just gonna get the game itself.
I might pick up the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare controller, and that's about it.
Yeah, because Carnage, aren't you like a big You're not necessarily a big Call of Duty player, but you do like the zombies and Extinction, right?
Yeah,
like
I
they're
did
other
all the
modes.
Yeah, exactly. I like the cooperative modes more. I mean, I play a little multiplayer here and there, but and I have yet to start any of the Call of Duty campaigns, except maybe in like Modern Warfare 2 or some other ones. I don't know why, but well, actually, I know why. If they had cooperative mode throughout the campaign, I probably would do it. And I know I still need to do Call of Duty World at War campaign co-op, but I'm more into the cooperative stuff.
What do you like better, zombies or Extinction?
That's a tough call, but I would probably go with zombies, I think.
My man.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
he didn't
Yeah.
let us down.
Yep.
Oh, there's a heated debate on this here, I could see.
Not
we
with
all
this
agree,
group
but
right
we have
here.
a couple of friends. Yeah, we have a couple
I
of
mean-
friends that are strongly against zombies.
I mean, zombies is good also in the fact that you can do well solo if everyone else is dead or something, but Extinction is obviously, more cooperative and team-based, oriented. So,
I kind of like the Easter eggs they put in
See?
zombies.
That's
Definitely,
the Easter
yeah.
eggs makes it more interesting. I mean, I know
love
it's,
it or hate it.
Yeah, it makes it
Some-
more interesting, plain and simple.
Well, I also like things like the mystery box and the pack-a-punch. I don't know. There's just more to do in zombies.
Well, yeah, there's just little things. It's just little things here and there that just spice up the gameplay versus just mindlessly standing there
Yeah.
and shooting. A cool pack-a-punch gun that shoots like lasers, and a bunch of perks that you can buy that make the gameplay different, and
Mhm.
just little things like that. I
So
think.
since the next Call of Duty supposedly is Black Ops 3 because Treyarch's up again, I wonder if Zombies will be a standalone game this time. Because they've talked about it for a while. Zombies will be
That would be
standalone
awesome.
release.
Well, how would
I
they
would
do
Carnage.
that? Would
That'd
they
be great.
make-
I wouldn't even play Black Ops 3. I would just play zombies.
I'll say,
Yeah.
what are they gonna make
I'm
two
sure.
different things then? They're just gonna.
No,
Try
it'll just
out
be like
zombies.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3, just multiplayer and single player, and then like
just multi.
a
yeah.
zombies game, just maybe just an arcade game or $20
Hmm.
this is just zombies, Because they said the last one, the Black Ops 2 one, was almost its own game, and they decided at the last minute to just include it in Black Ops 2.
Oh, okay.
See, it's
Now, I
genius
wonder,
because
did
then they
they-
can sell map DLC and zombies DLC separately.
Yep.
And now you can pay $30 instead of 15. It's brilliant.
That's where they get you. Yep. I mean, did they announce any other type of mode for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare yet? Like some cooperative,
Not
no?
yet, I don't think. I
I
think
mean-
it does have a cooperative mode, but I don't think they've announced what it is yet.
I mean, we've had Spec Ops, we've had zombies, we've had aliens, and what's next? Robots? Probably.
Robots.
Pirates.
Well, this one is
Anything else?
Sledgehammer's
Pirates.
first solo outing, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Pirates?
I wouldn't be surprised if they just followed like the Modern Warfare and just do like survival and Spec Ops and shit like that.
I mean, it is Advanced Warfare, so, all futuristic and all, so robots and cyborgs wouldn't be too far-fetched, I guess, but we'll see what happens with that.
Speaking of that, you guys saw that they had the multiplayer reveal this week. What do you guys think of the reveal of how the multiplayer has changed in Call of Duty?
I
Well,
thought
me
it
and Carnage are gonna go smoke a cigarette. You two have had it.
I'm just. Carnage says he likes the multiplayer. He plays it sometimes. I mean,
He said he liked the co-op.
Well, he also says he plays. I don't play the multiplayer unless it has achievements. So I mean,
Yeah, I
I
don't
thought
play
it
too
looked
much of the
good.
multiplayer.
You can
really.
tell that they took a few cues from Titanfall with
Exactly,
the whole
yep.
exoskeleton stuff, but it looked good to me.
That's not a bad thing. It's just they said it still feels. I watched in a video preview of it, and the guy was saying it definitely still feels like Call of Duty, but it does feel like they added a few Titanfall-ish things in there.
Yeah,
So, but yeah.
Well, I'm sure they were watching it. I mean, those people who made Titanfall aren't those people who made Call of Duty? I mean,
yep.
Oh yeah,
it's not. It's
one of the old teams.
I was saying it's not surprising that Activision have been watching that game closely.
It's the
Like,
original
all right, let's do
Infinity
some of
Ward.
yeah,
this.
it's the
They're the ones
Yeah.
who made Call of Duty and the ones who originally made Medal of Honor.
yeah, and that's the original Call of Duty 4 team. The best one still, I say.
You're right, sir.
Thank you, sir. No, sir.
Anyway, anything else for Gamescom? I think we covered most of it, didn't we?
What about the big news? I mean, this is big. This isn't big news
Here
for
we
us,
go.
but I'm sure it is for Carnage though, and Pig.
Oh,
Oh, I know what you're gonna go to. Yep.
Geometry Wars 3.
Geometry Wars 3.
Yep.
Isn't that
Who's
big
making
news?
that again?
Lucid
Yeah.
Games.
Megaton.
Yeah, Sierra also and Activision. I mean, they're a subsidiary of, aren't they? They're part of Activision, I believe.
Yeah, Sierra's. Yeah. Well, they also announced a new King's Quest
King's
game,
Quest. Yeah.
which I never played that. A little too old for me, but
Yeah, same
I
here.
heard it was crazy hard. A friend of mine was telling me how there's parts in that game where it's like a cat is chasing a mouse and it goes across the screen for like 5 seconds, and if you don't have a boot in your inventory to throw at the cat, then you like fail completely. You have to start the whole game over again. Like nothing tells you that's gonna come up. Like brutally hard shit like that was in the old school King's Quest.
So Carnage,
That's
what do you
just some
think about
cheating
this new
bullshit.
Geometry Wars?
I was definitely excited to hear about it, but of course a little bit skeptical when I heard that the original team, which of course is not around anymore, Bizarre Creations, they're not, none of them are working on it. Although I did learn that a lot of the former Bizarre team are actually part of Lucid Games, even though the original designer Stephen Cakebread is not directly working on it at all. But obviously they took a lot of his knowledge and all of the things that he's built the foundation on to work on that game. So I think it'll do well. It has some kind of 3D aspects now, but I've also heard that the game still feels like Geometry Wars. So hopefully they don't mess that up.
Supposed to come out at the end of the year too, or by the end of the
they
year.
said holiday 2014 on I believe it's at least Xbox 360, Xbox One, PC, PS4. There might be other ones, but
Fucking
I'm almost positive.
Amiga,
Xbox.
Super Nintendo, the Wii, the Wii
No, no,
U.
no.
Oh boy.
Amiga.
The best part, and this is when
Engage.
Carnage is going to go ballistic, is those games are pretty old now, is when all the new kids get on TA and start going, this game's just a rip-off of 60-second Shooter Prime.
Oh yeah, that'll just be sad
What do
if
you
they
think?
say something like that.
No, it's true. You know there will be. It's just like when that new Mad Max trailer came out at Comic-Con, and I was looking on YouTube, and there was all these people that were like, "This just looks like a rip-off of Rage," or "This just looks like a rip-off of Waterworld." It's like those were rip-offs of Mad Max, you assholes! Like, God, stupid people.
Yeah, it's not often that someone says like, "Oh, Geometry," Robotron is a ripoff of Geometry Wars, like the other way around. It's like, okay,
Oh,
but
it'll
yeah,
be
I'm definitely
glorious.
looking forward to that. I mean, uh, should be good. We'll see what happens. I don't know
Hopefully
what
it's
else
good.
to say about that one. I've seen a few screenshots, but nothing more yet. Apparently, it does have like 50 single-player levels, 50 single-player challenges, 10 different modes. It also features, I don't know if they said online, but it features competitive and cooperative play. And I believe that's all the information so far.
Co-op
Well, you'll be a
Geometry
triangle,
Wars?
I'll be a circle, and DOA can be a square. I'll fight to the death.
Why are we a PlayStation controller?
I'm just the shape of the Geometry Wars. My big problem with Geometry Wars, which they kind of fixed with 60-second Shooter Prime, was it always took way too long to get actually into the good part of the game. Like you had to go through that 2 minutes of just,
Yeah, exactly.
the wind up until it actually got hectic when it was actually really a amount of fun.
I agree. Yep.
Hopefully
I wanted to ask Carnage a couple of things.
Yeah,
since I think we're almost done with the Gamescom part anyway. What do you think of the whole arcade games being worth 1,000 now? Supposedly,
Oh yeah, I did hear about. I mean, there was nothing, very like official about it, but I've heard from a few sources that it's probably confirmed. But I'm not gonna say anything definite yet. But yeah, that's cool. But I mean, I'm not like huge, not really thrilled or I'm not, either way, it doesn't matter too much to me, to be honest.
Well,
How
you're
about you
number one
guys?
in arcade games, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
What do
But
you even have you ever bothered to add up what your score would be if all arcade games had always been 100? I mean, roughly. I'm sure you can't add it up exactly with DLC and everything, but like a rough estimate.
oh, I mean, I'd probably definitely be in the top 10 overall gamer score, but if they were worth a lot more from the start. But
Yeah, when you say worth 1,000, worth 1,000 gamer score, let's put it out there. We're talking about 360 games because I still consider these Xbox One games arcade games.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, but like, wasn't like, because how long was it into it before they changed to 400? It was like 6 years.
yeah, it was quite.
So,
I believe Trials Evolution was the first 400 gamer score game. So that was three years ago,
That was 2010, wasn't it, or 2011?
something like that.
I mean, it was a long time, and then they went to 400, and now I guess maybe they're going to 1,000. But I mean,
Well, the thing
that's
is,
a
like,
huge difference.
it'll be 1,000, but I don't. From what I understand, is there's not a lot of 360 games in development anymore, especially arcade games. They've all moved to the
Yeah,
open platform of like Xbox One, Steam, and PS4.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
What is there any reason why a developer would want to go with 360 arcade when they could instead just go indie for Xbox One?
Well, is the id program even supported on 360? I thought you still had to have a
not.
publisher.
Well, that's
you
what
still need a
that's what I'm
publisher on
saying.
this.
So why would they want to make a game for 360 when they could just skip it and go to
Well,
Xbox
there's still
One?
probably a lot of. There's still
You know,
games in development that are still going to come out that are probably.
Well,
they could
I guess
switch
I'm
to
just
1,000.
talking about a developer just making their game. I mean, obviously, the bigger developers are just going to put it on everything, but the smaller
Well,
indie devs.
I think it's because it's the same reason why you still see cross-gen now, even though it's pretty apparent that last gen is dying out because it's dying out faster than anybody anticipated. So before it's like all the publishers and developers thought the 360 and PS3 would be around for a while and still sell a boatload of games. They just didn't think everybody would move on so fast. So you have these games in the pipeline for 360 and PS3, and you really can't change it because you poured money into making them already,
Right.
So at least you want to get some return on investment. Like the Assassin's Creed Rogue, I'm sure if Ubisoft knew that the 360 and PS3 system, like they wouldn't sell many copies, I'm sure they would never have made that game. But they were under the assumption that the 360 and PS3 would still sell a shitload of games, which they don't.
Mhm.
So I think that's the reason why.
So, what do you think about the whole death of arcade, though? Sort of, at least on next gen.
Oh, you mean
Only
on
in
the
only in
the old
title.
gen, right?
Well, I know, but I mean, Carnage always obviously went for specifically for arcade games. I mean, look at the leaderboards and shit. And now none of these one games even really count. I mean, I guess maybe True Achievements is going to do an ID leaderboard, but
Well,
it seems like the arcade leaderboard kind of got a bit sabotaged by Xbox One and their new policies.
yeah, considering like how TA categorizes things right now, it's a little skewed, of course. Like as you said, some of these games that are on both platforms, like Max and the Brotherhood, for instance, like Max and the Curse of Brotherhood, that's on Xbox One and XBLA, but yet XBLA counts as an arcade on 360, and the other one it counts as a retail, and it doesn't make much sense. But I have heard a few things. I can't disclose too much, but I was in a private conversation, and I'll just say that a forum on TA, and they're basically working on a new method. They're probably going to sort everything out and change the way they're classified. So
Yeah, because what about Trials
what
Fusion?
happens.
Trials Fusion is an arcade game on the 360,
Yeah.
but it also had a retail release on the Xbox
Same deal,
One.
yeah.
So, but Max never had a retail release though.
No. But I mean, it's categorized as retail and True Achievements on Xbox One. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Well, that's
yeah,
the
I
thing.
know what
Some
you're
of
saying.
some of these games are definitely blurring the line, so it's kind of hard to just have a flat rule that says this is arcade, this isn't. But
That's true.
What
But
what do you guys all think about that True Achievements app for the Xbox One that they're doing?
I'm excited. I think you'll see a huge influx of people on there. It's gonna make everybody's ratios skyrocket probably.
no comment.
yeah, that'll gather them a lot more users, I believe. Definitely.
No comment magic?
What do you think?
No
It's
comment?
stupid.
Yeah,
I thought- I mean-
I'm not going to use it at all. I can't see myself using it.
Barney
Yeah, but
was
you
in
already
here, he'd be
use the
like,
site. It almost doesn't even matter if you use the app. I'm just talking about how many people out there don't know about True Achievements.
I mean,
and
I
then this
think-
app is going to
yeah,
show up on the
I
one,
think
and
it's
then
a cool-
all these people are going to join.
I think it's a cool idea for TA that they have their own Xbox One app, official app. I mean, I think just the idea of that is pretty cool. It's kind of inspiring, but I mean, me personally, I don't see myself using it at all.
yeah, I don't see myself using it that much either.
Yeah, because it doesn't have all the features. Obviously, they're probably going to work those in and update it and everything. But of course, the site is fully featured right now. So, but yeah, the influx of new users. I mean, that'll be interesting to see how all the achievements, how they
Yeah,
change.
make
in the
my
ratio
ratios higher.
Well, and that I mean, with that, I mean, it might actually make the ratios more realistic if you
Right.
It's like, oh, I
Well, yeah.
finished, I finished this random arcade game first. It's like, yeah, well, you were one of the only 10 people on TA who started it the day it came out, whereas there could have been hundreds, thousands of other people who did
Yeah,
it
it's like
before
it's
you.
like 1001 Spikes is only worth 1,500. But that's because
Oh,
it takes a while to get an achievement in it anyways. And
one
if you get an
achievement,
achievement
yeah.
in it, you're probably good enough to fucking maybe get the 1,000 anyway.
Well, that
so.
and people look up that it's hard and then they don't even bother starting it, so that always skews it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean that goes for anybody, not just TA people.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I mean, you go to the game store now, and now there's here's somebody playing it on Twitch, unless the game's really old, no one's playing it. And before you even buy it, you can watch somebody play it on on the store screen.
Yeah, that's a cool
So-
feature.
They have it on Twitch in a GameStop?
No, I'm
No,
saying
he
like
meant
if
the
I'm
store.
talking about
On the
arcade
dashboard.
game,
Oh.
like if you go to 1001 Spikes right now in the store, and you
Oh,
scroll
I
over
thought
just
you
a little
meant
bit, you'll see somebody
I
on
thought
Twitch
you meant
playing it,
literally
you know?
going to a store like GameStop and they had Twitch on their TVs and they're like, so, wait, what? Well, let's get into our top 10 arcade games. Everyone made their own list, checked it twice, ordered them. Right.
I'll just make the disclaimer. I don't consider Xbox One games arcade games, so I didn't include any on there.
Yeah, mine are all Xbox 360 arcade as well.
Well,
I'll make an extra disclaimer that I didn't consider retro games to be.
We'll make one general disclaimer where everyone pretty much decided what they considered arcade. So I know
Fair
DOA
enough.
might
Well, I'm just
have
saying,
his own
I
game
love
on there.
DuckTales, but I don't think of DuckTales as an arcade game. I think of that from my childhood. You know what I mean? Just because it's remastered.
Really?
I mean, it's still like
That's
an original.
interesting.
Well, you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I guess some games are a little bit more universal than others, but especially the first few years of the arcade when you were getting root beer tapper, if I can talk,
Root beer
and Pac-Man, and Galaga. I mean, do you really think of those as arcade games? Because I think of them as real arcade games from the 80s.
Well, I was
Yeah, but
gonna
you know.
say technically yes, they are arcade games.
Yes, those. In fact,
Yeah.
those some people would say are more arcade game. More of arcade games than new IPs. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's really to each their own. So.
Well, let's. Do
Well,
it this
I
way.
just meant in the
We'll,
sense that we're just bringing back an old game. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to something that here was something new. I don't know.
let's start
Yeah.
from 10 and work our way down to number 1.
Is this going to be each person does their 10 and then each person does
No,
their 9?
we'll just all go. Everyone name their 10th place game.
Karn, you go first.
Okay, for number 10, I picked Sanctum 2 on XBLA. Now, all of mine are on XBLA, but I'm just going to specify. So, yeah, Sanctum 2 is any of you guys played that one, by the way?
Never heard of it.
Nope. No. I know what it is,
Alright.
but I've never played it.
I've heard of it, but yeah, I don't know anything.
It's basically a mix between a tower defense game and a first-person shooter. So if you like those two genres, then you'll love this game. Especially if you like 4-player co-op. It has 4-player online. Yeah, and you get different weapons, towers, abilities, perks, all that stuff, and that's pretty much what the game is. So pretty cool.
Mine is A Kingdom for Keflings. Yes, sir.
Kingdom for Keflings.
I get addicted
I
to
knew
those
it.
games.
The truth comes out. He loves avatars.
Only when it's mine and mine only.
It's a nice, relaxing
You're like,
game.
the Crisis guy is crushing little buildings. This is badass.
I don't know. That's just one of those games. Like there's certain games like that, like Viva Pinata, or back on the 64 was what was the game called? Harvest Moon. And there's just certain games like that where it's just like continuous things to do, and you just can't put it down because it's just like, oh, now you need this, and now you need this wool, and now you need this shaved wood, and you need this to build the shaved wood, and you need this, and you need this. And it just keeps going on and on and on. I just get
Minecraft
hooked.
before Minecraft.
Yeah. Alright, so that's mine. DOA.
Oh, I have a phone game at number 10. I know magical cringe, but Contour-Gior.
Contour-Gior.
Yeah, Contour-Gior. Love that game.
Never heard
This
of
is like a physics-based little puzzler where you got to get the little circle guy, and he's got little tentacle arms to basically the exit.
Yeah,
it was
physics-based
really good.
phone games.
You played that one, Rand. I know you did.
No, I bought it when it was $1, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I did that one too. That is definitely a cool, creative puzzle platformer, or whatever you would call it, I guess.
Hey, it's by far. It has a lot of style to it. It looks great.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. Go ahead, Rand.
All right, my number 10 is Pac-Man Championship Edition DX.
Nice.
I fucking love that game. When that first came out, I just could not stop playing it. Totally like reinvented Pac-Man.
Yeah.
So,
And
that's
it's
my
an
number
easy
10.
200.
Modes, variety,
Yeah.
and it
a lot
still
of fun.
stays true to the Pac-Man formula. So.
I'm waiting for when we get up to our top 3 where I actually have played some of these games that you guys name off.
Pac-Man DX was pretty good. It is quite satisfying to take down like 60 ghosts in 5
You're
seconds.
damn right. I could still picture the sound it makes. It's like, you know, like the sound it makes when you just chomp the whole line of ghosts. Awesome.
Alright, Carnage, number 9.
All right, number 9, and I'm going to segue after you said ones that you've never heard of. And here's one that I don't know if anyone heard of or would think that would be in their top 10, but Poker Smash.
Poker Smash.
an
Oh,
old one.
it's not in my top 10, but I really like that game. That game was
That's
really,
cool,
except I
yeah.
could never get like the 32 combo or 24, whatever it was.
It's any of you guys ever played here's another Super Nintendo reference, but Tetris Attack?
No.
Oh, or there was the same type of game, Pokemon Puzzle League, uses the same kind of formula, but basically it's just a match. I wouldn't say match 3 game, but it's a puzzle game. But this one mixes it with a unique concept, and as you can guess, poker. So you're pretty much creating different types of hands as you're making the matches. With the different in that sense, it's a mix between.
Well, yeah, it's kind of
poker
like
and
Tetris, where the
match.
cards are coming down, and they give you random cards, and it's
Right.
10 through ace. They don't have like 2 through 9. It's just 10 Jack Queen King Ace, and you got to make poker hands out of it. So you want to make most points if it's like a straight flush, but you can like 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind. You can even do 5 of a kind in this game's case, even though you really can't do it in real life.
It's a very unique and addictive, puzzle, very fast-paced action puzzle game, I would say. So, pretty challenging as well. Definitely has some of the hardest achievements, and that was a tough one to complete. But
I was just about to say
my-
that. Did you complete it?
yeah, I did. But that one took me a few weeks to get the 24 times chain. That's one of the hardest achievements.
Yeah, you need cascading poker hands.
Yeah.
Well, my number 9 is From Dust. Another. I have a lot of puzzle games on my list. A fucking lot. Maybe that's like
Okay.
the main kind of arcade game I like, but.
That's one of my most hated, to be honest. I don't know why.
Really?
I
From
just never
Dust?
got into it. Yeah.
Oh man, I loved
I
it.
don't know.
I don't know. It's like
So
you.
boring.
Oh man, you're crazy.
So boring, Magic God.
I loved it because it wasn't just your typical puzzle game. It was like a physics, like, I don't know, Earth based, but where you're moving like the mountains to
Yeah, I
make the
guess like
river flow, and creating lava and making that flow. And
mm, maybe I just
uh,
never tried it long enough to get
well, they
into it.
also had a challenge mode that was really cool too. It was where everything was kind of
Mm.
pre-set up, and you had to get through it in unique ways. Yeah, I really like that game. All
My
right.
up.
Yep.
This one's a new one. Outlast.
At 9, so low.
No, 8.
Really?
You
Wow, that's
consider
Oh,
that
no,
an
no, no,
arcade
yeah.
game?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, I
Fish
guess
fair
there's no
enough.
retail
That's-
release. I mean, it's digital
Fish
only,
posh.
so I don't know. But I mean, unlike most survival horror games, that one was actually kind of scary. It had great atmosphere. I mean, you couldn't even attack the enemies. It was
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
quite
say. Like, it's actually fun if you can like attack any of the enemies in the whole game. I mean, you're just
Yeah, I know a few
defenseless.
people had issue with that, Pandora. Um, but
I
I
mean,
don't know. I loved it.
I haven't-
It's the first really good survival horror game I've played in years. I mean,
I haven't played the game, but the idea of not being able to attack someone makes it, because it's just the idea you're defenseless. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
more scary if you're defenseless versus I have this gigantic
Run,
weapon
hide, or
machine gun.
die. That's the 3 things you can do. Run, hide,
Oh,
or
well,
die.
it is unique. I'll give it that then. In that sense, that
well, it's
you're not
less
able to-
scary if somebody's coming after me and I can just pull out my shotgun and shoot them in the
True.
face.
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
point.
You know, when these guys come after you, it's like you better get the fuck out of there quick. You know what I mean? Or it's game
Yeah.
over.
Especially when you play on
you're on the hardest.
you
Oh,
play on
yeah, I heard
insane,
the
and if you
horrors of that
die,
one.
you start over again. So yeah.
You
Yeah,
gotta
I mean,
play in the
that's
dark
it.
pretty much through the whole.
Well, then you
thing
just
with,
gotta
like,
do
a
your
hardly
crouch
bit
glitch
of-
and crouch.
Doesn't
through
always
it.
work.
Uh-huh, yeah.
I would say that is not a
Yeah,
that's
well.
that you
Well,
do that
plus-
only
Doesn't
in-
mean you didn't
Yeah.
try it.
Plus,
Oh,
you have to also beat insane without switching batteries, so you're pretty much playing
Right.
the game in pitch black. So,
That's insane.
It's really good. So
my
All right.
number 9 would be, I think, one of the original Summer of Arcade games, Braid.
Nice.
Like that game, like I really enjoyed it. Like, and then when it really like shot up there for me was you get to the end, and you're chasing the princess, and you're like helping her out or whatever, and then you get to the end and you reverse time, and you're not helping the princess. It turns out she was trying to stop you, and you're just like a creepy stalker. And then it puts this whole game, it like flips everything around about what you thought the game was, and like that just kind of like blew my mind like back then. So
Yeah, I agree. That
Braid,
would have been
number
one of my
9.
honorable mentions, definitely. That's a good one.
I never got around to that one, but I've definitely
I never
heard-
played it either, but I know everybody loved
Yeah,
it, and it was
everyone
quite
I know
critically
who's played
acclaimed.
it loved it. So yeah, that's one that got away from me. Should have played it. All right, Carnage number 8.
All right, for number 8, I picked N+. That's a
Oh,
classic
that
game.
yes.
game's awesome.
Great
just
game
gave
right
I
there.
mean, that's
Day.
another. I forget who was saying it before, but when people were talking about being narrow-minded when it comes to like new Xbox One games where they don't have any good graphics, and this is all about gameplay. Well, that harkens back to N+. I mean, that game was that was probably the smallest game size. I think it's like 17 megs on to download, and the game, if you guys remember, it's like kind of gray and white, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just
Fucking
blocks,
awesome.
It just blocks in like a stick figure, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Stick figure. I mean, it's a platformer where you try to get to the exit door, and that was pretty much it. But there was all these different hazards and blocks and different types of monsters and whatnot. And the thing that really sold me on that game was the online co-op, as well as the fact that you can create your own maps and share them online.
Oh man,
for a game
people
like that.
made ridiculously good maps on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
You guys
That
know
was-
that
that was fun.
N++ is coming out for PS4.
That's
Did they
not
say anything about
exclusive,
Xbox
is it?
One?
I don't know if exclusive or if it's just timed
Hmm.
exclusive, but it's coming out for PS4 N++.
Interesting. I heard about it, but I didn't know.
Great,
yeah, we'll
great
see if that
platforming
comes.
game right there.
The graphics ain't everything, DOA.
Oh, I know. Not all mine are going to be graphics either. See, I'm glad. This is why I'm glad Karn is on here, because I kind of feel like I have a rough idea what you guys are going to say, but it's cool to hear his, because it's like a complete surprise.
Well, going off the graphics isn't everything. My number 8, Minecraft. A
Minecraft.
standout
Okay,
game
okay.
for graphics isn't everything.
I just don't get Minecraft.
See, I mean, I haven't played
I
it
don't
in a
either.
long time, But when I first played it, me and Barney were hooked on that game for about 2 weeks. Just building and building. I remember Ran jumped in there for like 5 minutes, and then DOA jumped in for 5 minutes, and me and Barney just kept on going.
I was in there longer than DOA.
Whatever. Yeah, you were
I
in there
was
longer
in
than
there for
DOA,
much
but
longer.
not that
Long
long.
enough. Long enough to get the achievements in like 20 minutes from
Yeah.
someone
I
that
think I
the
had
course
them all by
created
then.
already.
That's what I did. Bill helped me get the 400
No
and I was
shame.
done.
I did too.
I was done.
See, we just had a ton of fun. I just can remember we started off building like this tiny little shitty house on a hill, and then we just expanded and expanded and expanded. It was like, oh, the Barney and Magic Hotel, and then there's like a slide, and now we're building houses, and I don't know. That game is just, it's addicting. And like Rand always said, the music is so like mellow
peaceful,
and calming
relaxing.
on there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the music.
As DOA would, he'd smoke a big batty blunt to that music.
God.
I
What
mean,
can I
can see
say?
that.
I had Legos as a child, so it was behind me.
You're not the
But it's
only
definitely
one.
a good game if you're into that type of thing. But yeah.
All right, DOA number 8.
Well, this one will make you proud. Mark of the Ninja.
Proud.
low.
That doesn't
So
make me proud. What the
low.
hell's so low?
Oh, top 10.
I
Come on.
can't wait to hear the fucking
Out of
7
the hundreds
games.
of arcade games, 8's not high enough.
I
you
can't
fuck.
wait
I know
to
it's
hear the
definitely-
7 games that are better than Marca Ninja. I can't wait.
Well, I mean, to be honest, a lot of my top 10, it's like I tried to order it, but a lot of it's interchangeable. It's like a lot of these I like pretty much the same. You know
Yeah,
what
I mean that's a top quality game. I just haven't played it that much yet. So but I know it's a good, one of the
Great
best games from what I've heard.
one of the better stealth games out there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say that. I'm a big stealth fan, so I thought that game
Oh,
was
there
awesome.
you go. Yeah.
And unfortunately, Microsoft pissed off the developer, and now they don't want to bring their games to Xbox One. Shame, shame.
Well, I'm not that big of a fan on Shank. That didn't look too great to me, anyways. But
Don't starve.
well, yeah. I mean, don't. I played that on PC though, so I'm not tripping.
Shank. Did they make Shank?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah,
they
they
do
Shank 1 and 2, and then yeah, that one, Mark of the Ninja.
All right, Ran.
Number
Number
8, huh? Let's see here. All right. Well, number 8 for me, I'm gonna go with Shadow Complex. I think it's one of the original
A
Son
lot
of
of
arcade games.
platformers and puzzle games on everyone's list.
That was a good
I've
one, too.
always liked the Metroidvanias type of games, and this one kind of seemed more of like had more of like a budget, I guess. I just love
High
playing
production
through the
value,
game.
you mean?
Yeah, it was high production value. I remember playing through the game. Like I think I played it once and just beat it, and then I did that speed playthrough where you can if you get to a certain part within a certain time, you can actually like skip most of the game to like get to
Oh,
the
yeah,
end
that
without
shortcut.
using.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think I beat that game 4 times. I don't have 200 in it because I didn't grind out to level 60 or whatever it was or whatever. But yeah, that's my number 8 game, Shadow Complex, and I really hope one day we get a sequel. I don't know why they never
Yeah,
made a
Probably
sequel.
by,
would have by now if we were gonna.
Yeah.
Wasn't that by Epic Games actually? Also.
It was by
Yeah, it
Chair,
was.
which
But
Epic
it was
owns.
some of the people from. Okay, yeah, I remember something about that.
Chair,
Yeah, that
and
was
they're
great.
the ones who made
Great game.
Undertow, which everybody got for free back in like 2007 because
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, number 7.
All right. So number 7 is pretty similar to my number 8 one, which was N+, but this is Battle Block Theater, similar type of game. You guys played that one yet? I mean, that's the
No,
one that
I
they just put
downloaded
out
it because it was free, but I
Right.
haven't played it yet.
I just know
But
it's by the Castle Crasher people.
Yeah, it's by the Behemoth or Behemoth, whatever you prefer. I don't know, but anyway, that game is another great platformer. The only reason I put it a little ahead of N+. Now this game has the gameplay that N+ had, but it also adds icing on the cake, which is the graphics. So the graphics, and also the humor. The humor. I mean, in that game, I usually don't watch too many cutscenes usually in games, but I'll tell you what, this game, do not skip the cutscenes. Let me just warn you, they're hilarious. Yep.
I know one of my friends at work actually plays it almost every day during breaks because it's free on 360 now, and he
that's-
absolutely loves it.
Probably one of the best like steals. I mean, getting that game free, I was, it was well worth the 15 when it came out, but I don't regret it one bit. So
Well, that's
Yeah.
cool. So my number 7 is Red Johnson's Chronicles. One
What?
against all. Hey,
Oh god.
we got a hater over here, man. When we get this guy on podcast, hating on all my goddamn top tens.
These kind of like point and click adventure. I mean, if that's your
Yeah, but
thing.
the thing about that game is it was a really good puzzle game, and the puzzles were actually difficult. It wasn't this like, oh, let me hold your hand and here's a couple of hints. Use a hint to figure it out. Like that game's puzzles were really fucking hard. Like some of them were really hard. No, no, that's the thing that sold me on it was that it was actually difficult to figure out what to do.
Hmm.
Obviously,
Unless,
to
of
be
course, you just bring up
fair,
the YouTube guide.
Play too
yeah,
much
but
of
that
it.
ruins the game. That's one of those games where, don't talk to me about the game if you just watch the YouTube video for it, because you
Yeah, it's
didn't play
more.
the same game I did.
Yeah, isn't it like something about solving mysteries and crimes or something? Like it's more story based.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, so
you're just going through, it's a puzzle-based game.
right. Hmm. That's your cup of tea. That's cool. Not my cup of tea though.
This guy over here shitting on all my games.
Well, my number 7 is, and Magic will be happy, another phone game. This is my last phone game on here. Well, this is my last phone game. So this is, I'd actually, on a side note, consider this the best phone game. But I think it's actually just delisted now, and that's the first Tentacles. I love that game.
That was a cool one.
The new one's not as good, the 3D one, because I don't know. It's just repeating worlds and kind of like randomized levels, like chickens can't fly. I don't know. I don't like it as much as the original, but I love that game. So I don't know. I pretty much just love everything Press Play does. I mean, like all their games have been gold. So
So for my number 7, I'm just gonna put this here because it borrows heavily off its retail counterpart, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Oh yeah,
I forgot all about that one.
that was funny as hell and awesome.
That game was fucking awesome, but how much of that is owned to the fact that it already exists as Far Cry 3? That's why it's not a little bit higher. But I fucking love that game. It's so good.
Michael Bihn's the man.
I guess that game was. I mean, I actually forgot to put that in my top 10, but I mean that would be an honorable mention as well. There's so many games, it's hard to pick, but that was also even better because I didn't play Far Cry 3, so I got the full experience. Well, not the full experience, but yeah.
No, it's kind of true because it pretty much does follow the same formula in terms of gameplay with like the bases and everything. So I can see that it would maybe be a little bit fresher if you didn't.
And that soundtrack.
Oh
that
yeah,
soundtrack.
the 80s. Yep.
See, I'm a like DOA. I'm a child of the '80s, so like that kind of stuff speaks to me
same here.
as like my childhood. Like staying up late and watching like Total Recall and Terminator and like all the old Arnold Schwarzenegger movies and stuff. So.
Speaking of which, there were a lot of funny references and parodies and whatnot in there. If all that stuff. So.
Just unfortunate Magic didn't appreciate Far Cry 3 that much.
The youngin.
Yeah.
What? I didn't even like the main game. Fuck the arcade version. Arcade spin-off. I didn't really care for the main game.
I don't know. The arcade game was arguably better in some ways.
Well, yeah, but if I didn't like the main game, why am I going to buy the spin-off arcade version based on the 80s, like fucking 80s inside jokes? I mean...
Well, for one, hopefully it would make you laugh this time.
What do you mean this time?
Well, I mean, 3 didn't really... I don't remember Far Cry 3 having any comedy in it, really. And this game was like... I mean, lots of action, but I mean, it was supposed to make you laugh. It's basically a comedy, a spoof.
And plus, I hope developers do this more often, but I like the idea of a DLC being a standalone game instead of added on to the main game.
Yeah, it was enough. It was different enough in its own right. Anyway, I mean, with the whole '80s theme, so that was cool.
Everything purple and pink and shit.
Very nostalgic. But
all right.
So
number 6.
So my number 6 one actually happens to be another game that was Games with Gold, but I enjoyed it a lot right when it came out, and thought that it was well worth it. Dungeon Defenders.
Never played it. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, if you like that kind of thing.
Well, only if you like that kind of thing. Well, it'll be hard to hate like RPG, tower defense, action, because it's actually a hybrid of all three of those. So, but anyway, I mean, it is another cooperative game. As you can tell, I like a lot of cooperative games, but That one has a mix of tower defense, action, and RPG. It's a really deep game. There's a lot to do. I mean, the achievements take a really long time. That's one of the games also, like you mentioned, some games are like, like 1001 Spikes. It takes a while to get one achievement. That's one of them right there. That game takes, I don't know, maybe you could have people helping you, giving you like special items and stuff, but because you can trade stuff in that game. But starting on from scratch, it'll take you quite a few hours to get one achievement. But anyway, regardless, it's a very, very deep, well polished, fun game.
Awesome.
All right, well, my number 6 is an Xbox One launch game. I think, was this the first Xbox One game on the list?
DOA Outlast.
No, I said Outlast.
Outlast, right.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, second, my first Xbox One game, Killer Instinct.
Ooh. That Killer Instinct.
Yeah, well, I never played any of the old Killer Instincts back in the day, one or two, but this was my
Doesn't matter.
first, and I'm just saying, there wasn't any nostalgia factor for me.
You never played it in the arcade or Super Nintendo?
No. Nope.
Wow.
Magic probably doesn't know what arcades are. He's too young.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. I had an arcade when I was younger.
Hey, well, he's like his
I
arcade
played that
games
one.
as a kid were like the big like rowboats and shit you'd get in.
No. I played that one racing game where it was like driving through the sun or whatever. I don't remember what it was called. Sun.
What, you talking about Outrun? Where you're in the Ferraris?
I don't remember what it was called. Sure.
Probably.
But
And
yeah,
you can
Killer Instinct. I love that game.
you can spin off the Killer Instinct news. Killer Instinct Season 2 starts October 15th.
Yeah, great news. If you don't buy the full version, you have to wait 5 months for the rest of the characters to come out. Hooray.
Yep. No, what
Yeah,
do
they
you
pretty
mean?
much screwed us over, thinking that the first season pass will include the next. I don't know. I was thinking that way. Like all the DLC for that game will be, or is it going to be a separate game? I don't know.
No, it's not.
I think
It's an
just
add-on.
add-on. It's an add-on to
okay.
Season 1.
Well, it's like if you buy not the free version, obviously, but if you buy the cheaper version, you just get, the first character, and then you have to wait for the rest?
It's no matter what version you buy, right? If you buy the $20 version or the $40 version, you get TJ Combo and Maya, and they're releasing a fighter once a week for 6 months, or once a month for 6 months until all 8 are
I was
out.
about to say, once
Yeah,
a
but
week.
then the
my
the
bad.
expensive $40 one, you have access to all of them right away, don't you?
No, it's the same as last time. You get Killer
I
Instinct
swear I
Classic
read that.
2.
I swear
You
I
get
read
Killer
that.
Instinct Classic 2, and you get all the accessories and shit for free.
Yeah, it's just the accessories. All the characters are in the $20 version.
Oh.
The
just that you-
$40
no matter
version
what.
gets you the accessories and Killer
So
Instinct
no matter
Classic.
what, you have to wait for the rest of the characters.
Yes, no matter what, you gotta wait. And they're releasing them once a month for 6 months.
So let me know 6 months later when Killer Instinct Season 2 is really out.
God, here we go.
Alright, moving on. DOA.
All right, mine is Every Extend Extra Extreme.
E4.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah,
4.
I was a
Very
big fan
different
that
type of game. Very different type of game.
Exactly. That's like if you want something like you haven't played before. That's
Most of the
definitely it.
modes, right? Because there was that one dual stick shooter mode.
Well, yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That was actually kind of hard, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, but that
I
was a
mean-
unique game, definitely.
Yeah, no, I really like it. It's kind of a weird rhythm game. It's by the people who made Luminous. So it's kind of like, it's got the same kind of rhythm music style to it, but I mean, it doesn't play anything like Luminous. It's not a block dropping game. It's like creating chains of explosions. It's kind of hard to explain. You kind of have to play it. I don't even really know how to explain it very well.
Yeah, it is hard to explain.
All right, so
All right,
was
go,
this
Rand.
number 6, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was my number 6.
My number 6 will be The Walking Dead Season 1.
We said top 10 arcade games, not top 10 TV shows.
But you like your movie and cutscene experiences.
So yeah.
That's cool.
Walking Dead Season 1
No, it was good.
was, I thought, pretty fucking damn good. Season 2, not as good. Wolf Among Us, pretty good, but kind of falters at the end. But I thought, like, there wasn't a misstep in Season 1. You know? I liked all the characters. I really liked Lee. And, I don't want to spoil anything, but maybe I added a couple tears in my eye at the end. You know what I'm saying?
I thought
yeah,
it had
fucking
missteps. They killed the asshole dad way too early.
the asshole dad.
Yeah, remember the guy they dropped like the block of salt on his head,
Oh,
like somebody
yeah.
does. Like I don't
That was
know.
awesome.
I thought that was.
But that was
It was
like
awesome, but it was
a
a waste of a character. They kind of built him up, and it's like, oh, he's dead. I was like, really? I was like, I don't know. Kind of, it'd be like killing Darth Vader in the first movie. You know, it's like you're supposed to keep characters like that towards the end, and then you kill them at the end. You don't just like knock them off right away. I don't know. It's kind of
This
a
is
waste.
the game that
but-
brought Telltale back because their previous games not so good.
Oh come on, Jurassic Park was a 10 out of 10.
I mean, I enjoyed the Sam and Max games and stuff, and I even enjoyed a little bit of the what is the Wallace and Gromits. But I wouldn't call those like amazing games or anything like that. This
I don't
was
know,
like
Poker
to
Night's
me.
pretty funny.
Yeah, for a little while until they repeat the same lines like after.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. But it's great for the
But
first
yeah.
few hours.
But yeah, other than that, all their other games, the same format. They do that type of game well. I mean, pointing.
I'm looking forward to
Game
replaying Season 1
of...
on
No,
Xbox
no,
One
no, no.
this holiday.
Game of
Looking forward to
Thrones,
replaying
we're
it.
looking forward to.
So yeah,
All right,
that's
well-
it.
All right, so number 5, right?
Yep.
Yep,
Okay.
top 5.
Number 5 is a game that they brought back from the N64 days. Unfortunately, they weren't able to bring GoldenEye, but you know which one I'm talking about. What they were able to put on, right?
Perfect Dark.
Ugh.
Yep.
That crap that is
Dark.
known as Perfect Dark. Blah.
You're full of shit.
Now to be fair, I don't know if you're thinking of. I mean, I have the retail one, and I didn't really like that one. I was kind of disappointed in that because I love the N64 one,
Everybody
but I
was
was glad when they
disappointed
brought
in
back
Zero.
I was glad when they brought back the one on arcade. I thought they did a pretty close. They were pretty true to the old one, and they added in online multiplayer and new like crowns and achievements and awards to go for and all that stuff. So then they had the online multiplayer. Oh, I mentioned that, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty faithful port or update to the game.
Yeah, I know
guys
some
play
people
that
who
one?
were really into it. Nah.
I mean, I
never
played it back
played
in the day. I didn't play the arcade
Back in the
version.
day, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't
but
like
back in the
I
day
didn't like
it was great.
Perfect Dark back on the 64. I was always just
Yeah,
give me
yeah.
GoldenEye. That's
that
all
was
I wanted.
that was one
If
of
you
the
didn't
best
like it
games
back
on the
then,
64
yeah,
to
it's
me.
not. But I mean, it had, I would have liked GoldenEye more because I played that like I don't know how many hours back in the day on N64 with friends. The split screen madness. But
Laptop
it-
gun all day.
I gotta be fair. I gotta be honest. Like it was more fun just to play through the single player and get all the achievements. But afterwards, I wasn't really wanting to go back and play multiplayer against people. I don't know. It's still a great one of my top games, but it doesn't have a lot. Kind of like the multiplayer wore off a little bit, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, it's dated now. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's always
It's
got
no
that
Call of
nostalgia
Duty.
feel, but at the same time, you're never 17 again. You know what I mean?
Right. It's not gonna like be the next Call of Duty, obviously, or something. But yeah.
All right, well, mine number 5, another Xbox One game, Max and the Curse of Brotherhood.
Yep.
Awesome.
Great,
Awesome
Nice.
game
great
right there.
platformer. I didn't even play it until it's available for free on Games for Gold, and
Shame.
but damn,
He wasn't a believer. We told him he'd love it, and he did.
Yeah, it was a really good game, really good platformer, good puzzles on there, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Even the Windows Phone game that was the that was originally the one that this is the spin-off to. That was pretty good too.
Yeah, I played it. It was really good. I think I like Curse of Brotherhood better, but that phone game was.
Oh,
really good.
definitely, yeah, as a console game. But I mean, that wasn't bad for a mobile game.
All right,
Not going to be
dude.
much to talk about with mine because it's Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. There's number 5. So, I already done that. So go ahead, Ryan.
Number 5 for me. I don't know if anybody else is gonna have in this list. I love this game. I wish it would come back. 1 versus 100.
Oh,
Played that shit
hell yeah.
all the time,
that was-
every day when it was on.
I wouldn't put it in my top 10, but yeah, I mean, I loved it. I definitely
I
want it on
agree.
the Xbox One.
Were you ever in the mob or the one?
I was in the mob.
Really?
Were you?
Oh wait,
I
the
was,
mob.
yeah.
Okay,
The
mob. not
100.
I was part of the
yeah,
100
the mob
one
was the
time.
100, and then
Oh,
there's the
right.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a couple another friend who was actually in the mob that beat the one and actually got a free arcade game. So
Nice.
I love that game. I really wish they'd bring it back or something like it
It was a
for
really
Xbox
it
One.
was a really cool idea too. I mean, I remember when that was going on, it was everybody Friday night. You know, what was it like Friday and Saturday night? Oh, you
Yeah.
guys getting on for 1 vs 100? Oh yeah, let's get on. You know,
Yeah.
everyone's on there. Fucking whole
And
friends list.
it wasn't even just for the achievements. A lot of me, like my friends and I, like we would after we had all the achievements, or even if we weren't going for them, it was just fun to play, just a social game. So,
Yeah.
um, and actually, as you were saying that they might bring something like it, did you guys see the videos of that family game? Like they're making another like family game night type of game,
Yeah.
but this time
Yeah,
I
like
think
Ubisoft is. Yeah.
Yeah, the Trivial Pursuit one looks a lot like 1 vs 100. So Trivial Pursuit Live or something they're calling it. So
I remember.
that could possibly fill the void.
I remember playing 1 vs 100 and having DOA in the party for all my movie answers. Like, DOA.
Was I?
I
Yeah, it must
remember
have
I
been when
did
we
that a
first
couple
did. Yeah,
times.
no, that sounds right. I actually do remember
Like,
that. That was
here's
like when I
movie
first met
question.
you.
This one. Yep, that was right. All right, thank you.
I was really good at scenic games.
All right, number 4.
Okay, I think we're on. Yeah, you're right. Number 4 actually.
Mm-hmm.
So number 4 was Super Meat Boy. You guys are
Yeah.
familiar with that one, of course, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Love Super
I
Meat
never
Boy.
played it. I that type of game. I knew I wouldn't like it.
Really
even though I'm
hard,
sure it's
but
good, but
really
it's
good.
not for me.
Definitely, and it's another one that's similar to like 1001 Spikes, as Randall was talking about. It's one of those hardcore platformers. Very easy to learn but hard to master. So
Yeah.
I
That
love
would
my
be number
platformers.
11. That'd be number 11 for me. It
Nice,
didn't make the
nice.
cut. I love that game though.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
another
really
one
good
like
game.
N plus where you just die a lot.
Exactly. Like all those type of platformers. That's a lot of them that are in my list. So just a little hint to what's to come still. But not everything platformer. But Yep.
All right, my
That's that.
number 4 was State of Decay.
Nice. I haven't played much of that,
I haven't
but I
played
heard
that.
it's really good.
Really good open world survival game. A lot of good actual survival mechanics. A lot of these games they just throw survival in there and there's really no survival to it. But that game is, you have a big group of survivors and if one dies, he's dead. And now you got to switch to another low-level character and continue on with them. Build them up. If they die, they're gone. You got to do resource management and go out and find supplies and gas runs out and it was really good open world survival game.
Weren't there rumors of that game coming to the one?
Yeah, they said they might put it on the one.
And I
And
never
then there was also talk that the sequel was going to be an MMO, which horrified me. But
I never got to play the expansion or the DLCs. I know there's at least one, maybe two, but
Yeah,
There's
two
two
of
of
them. Yep.
yeah, I never got to play those. I was already on X1 by then, but really good game.
Yeah,
State
it's
of Decay.
definitely a game I need to go back to.
Yeah.
I know how well I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Mhm. All right.
well, we can skip over my 4 also because it's Max and the Curse of Brotherhood. So I knew this was going to
Big
happen. You get to
copycat.
the top games and people start saying the same thing, and it's like, well, we've already covered these. So moving on, my number 4 is Max.
Still surprising
Go,
when
Ram.
there's over like 600 XBLA 360 games and then countless other ones on different platforms. But yeah, that's a good one though.
So my number 4, this is where kind of like these ones all kind of blur. Like they could be interchangeable depending on how I feel,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So my number 4 is going to be Mark of the Ninja. And we already talked about Mark of the Ninja, so go to Carnage for number 3.
All right, number 3 is a game that's unfortunately not available anymore, but it was probably one of the first big XBLA games, in my opinion, and probably one of the most popular, Marble Blast Ultra. Old school.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Marble
that was
Blast.
good. That was good. It's
Yeah,
not
that
a
was
top
a-
10,
that was a
but
good one.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was
that
one of the
had-
best early games.
Definitely, yeah. It was like under the 50 meg limit back then. Like arcade games had that limit, and
Yeah.
it still
So
was
dumb.
like really. The graphics were
Just-
surprisingly good for like such an old game. Still, I mean, they still compare well to
Just-
today's standards.
Just thinking
So-
back to Microsoft's dumb rules, like arcade bays had to be under 50, and then it was like arcade games had to be under 100, arcade games have to be under 250, and they're like, fuck it, whatever they want.
Yeah, did you see what they did with? Unfortunately, the game that we were talking about before, Loco Cycle, they broke that up into 2 different downloads on the 360.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh,
But
I remember that. I
anyway,
forgot about that.
yeah.
But that game also came out during the time when pretty much every other game was just some retro game, like Reboot Tapper, like you were saying earlier.
Oh yeah, Marble Blast.
Yeah,
Batman,
so
definitely.
it was great to get like a good original game like that, and in the midst of like the hundreds of ones you've played all your life already anyway.
And believe it or not, it actually had 8-player online, if you recall. That was a lot of fun.
Yep.
And the single player, they had a bunch. I don't know, 60-something levels. It was a pretty good deal for only, I think it was $10. So that was a great classic arcade game. I wouldn't say classic in that sense, but you know what I mean. It's one of the early XBLA games.
Yeah, an early home run, kind of like Geometry Wars.
Yeah.
Go Magic.
All right, my number 3. It's probably not considered an arcade game by most, but I mean it's an XBLA game on 360, so yeah, I went with it. It was Portal Still Alive.
Oh, okay.
Great,
Portal.
I mean, Portal's obviously great.
great
Yes, it
puzzle
is.
game.
I mean, who doesn't love Portal, really?
I'm a much bigger fan of Portal 2, but yeah, that's a retail game, so Portal 1 it is.
Yeah, fair enough.
Still a great game. Really good puzzle mechanics on there with the portal gun.
Definitely, and
Very
I don't know if you
unique.
guys tried this one, but there's another arcade game that's similar to that. Actually, there's 2 of them that are like that I would recommend. I haven't played them too much, but it's the same type of concept, and I heard they're pretty well received. It's that Quantum Conundrum and Mag Runner.
Yeah, I've
So-
played. I know me and DOA have both played Quantum Conundrum. I'm not sure if Fran. Did you play that one?
I didn't
stepped
play
away.
Quantum Conundrum. No, I didn't play it.
Yeah.
I remember DOA
Similar
telling
to-
me it was a
yeah.
pile of fucking dog shit.
I
so never
hated
played
Quantum
Really?
Conundrum. I
Don't
love
listen to
Portal,
him.
but I hated Quantum Conundrum. I
That's
didn't like it at
surprising
all.
because it's like the same. Well, I
We-
don't know.
we
first-
could
I don't know.
go- we
To
could
me, it
talk
was
about
Portal
this
without
for
the portals,
half an hour.
and it's like, but that was what made it good. I was like, I don't care about the rest of the game. If you ain't got the portals, then fuck off.
Interesting.
Or the humor.
And the other one, Mag
Oh yeah, it
Runner,
wasn't nearly as funny.
is like puzzle platformer, but with instead of portals, it was like magnet based. So you have your repelling and attracting puzzles and all that jazz. So it's worth a shot though if you like Portal at all. So
I never played Mag Runner, so
yeah.
All right.
Anyway, there's a 2 gigabyte system update waiting for us.
oh boy.
I know.
All right, go Magic. Let's not get off subject.
What?
We're
I
going
just
kind of
went.
long here.
I just said Portal. It's your turn.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My number 1 and number 2 are very interchangeable, but number 3, Tetris Splash, because I'm just Tetris nut. My most anticipated game coming up is Tetris Ultimate, which most people think is retarded, but I love Tetris. So
Most anticipated
Tetris
in
is a
like the
classic,
next
so-
3 weeks or something.
no, like the most of all the arcade games or whatever you want to call them coming to the one. Like the one I'm most excited for is Tetris Ultimate, just because I love Tetris. I've always
Wow.
loved it.
Yeah,
So-
you must have like been playing it a lot on Game Boy way back in the day.
Oh, I know. I've played it ever since it came out. I love Tetris.
Right.
So
That's
Tetris Splash was like an automatic because that was the one Tetris arcade game. I mean, I don't really like stuff like Tetris Sphere, but like classic Tetris, and
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
what Splash
and they're
was.
keeping- And they're staying
Yeah.
true to that in the Xbox One version I saw. It's like all 2D as well. So
Well, yeah,
So
yeah.
I
It's
haven't
the
worked
exact
out,
Tetris
you're
I
not
want.
messing
It's
up.
not some weird version of Tetris. So,
yeah,
but anyway, I mean, everybody's played Tetris. There's not much to talk about. I just love Tetris.
Right,
So.
it's like no one's gonna call in or no one's gonna check in and say, "Oh, what's Tetris?"
That's like you just need to be
Google.
shot if you haven't heard of Tetris. I mean,
Living under a rock, yeah.
All right, Rand, number 3. You're getting down slim pickings now.
Nitty gritty. All right, so number 3. I don't know. I might be the only one. Carnage might have played this game, but I don't know if you and DOA did. But Bastion is my number 3 game.
Yeah, I played it a little bit. I should play it. That's another one I should play more, definitely.
I fucking love everything about that game. I love the narrator. I really like the
Narrator,
combat, the style, the art style, the way the world was. I like the story quite a bit. And I was very, very disappointed when Microsoft pissed them off and they ran to Sony's arm and made Transistor for the PS4 because that game looks fucking awesome, but we'll never get to play it. Microsoft pissed off indie developers.
And to think, you introduced me as the cynic.
I'm just saying.
And I was not wrong for that.
Angry Ran over here. Fucking PlayStation's getting all my developer sequels.
Yeah, because Bastion was a fucking amazing game.
Alright, top
All
2,
right,
Tom.
number 2.
All right, number 2. We touched on this series earlier, and the new Geometry Wars coming out. So, as you could probably guess, it's the I would say Geometry Wars series, though it's gonna be really it would be really hard to decide which one was first, And I actually don't have my number 1 game is not Geometry War in the Geometry Wars series, so it's I liked both of them a lot, and I would say the first one had a great formula, but the second one took that, and I would probably say the second one actually, because it took the basic formula and made different types of modes. So you're dual stick shooter, but you have a bunch of different variety of modes. You have cooperative and competitive, only local unfortunately, but that game was so addicting, and of course that was the first Geometry Wars was another flagship XBLA title, as you guys remember, like way back.
Well, that was actually a sequel. I was actually about to ask you that. Did you ever play the original Geometry Wars?
Oh, right, I know what you mean. There was the original, like on.
Yeah, the true original
PGR.
Geometry Wars. Yeah, it was PGR 2. It was in the car garage. There was an arcade machine, and it was like a mini game within
PGR.
PG.
Huh?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
Bizarre Creations. It was like a little mini game that they did, where in PGR 2 you could go to the
Exactly.
garage and play Geometry Wars. That's why on XBLA it's called Geometry Wars Evolved, because it's actually part 2. It's like
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
it's like a juiced up version of it.
Yeah, it's surprising to see like a little Easter egg in the game actually become a full-fledged XBLA game.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I never knew that.
And I mean, that game is so addicting in the fact that you're always competing with friends, and you have the online worldwide leaderboards and everything. And I went for that for quite some time after getting all the achievements. I got really hooked on trying to get the best scores and everything. And I know you were talking about I'm sure a lot of other people, but of course Pigamus Prime as well. He likes competing for Geometry Wars scores. Just not only just getting the achievements, but it's a game where it's that fun. That's where a game is that good. If you're not worried about playing after you get the achievements, and that's definitely one of them for me. So.
I was one of those guys. I love Geometry Wars, but I'm not good at it. Like I think I have
Oh,
like
no, I'm
40
not gonna-
points in that game, and I probably played it a
I'm not
good
gonna
amount.
lie. Like it took me a long time to get the actual 200. It just it's a game I played like constantly, and with enough practice you'll get there. It's just gonna take. I mean, I even at that time I put up tons of videos on YouTube and everything, and unfortunately I don't have a capture card right now. But yeah, I made a lot of different strategy videos. People improve their scores and whatnot. I mean, different types of tricks. So. But yeah, that's a very very addicting game, as you guys most of you probably played that already.
Oh yeah,
But
most people have probably played Geometry Wars.
yeah,
one way or
most
another.
people in general. But yeah,
All right,
Great
my
game.
number 2. I think I'll be stepping on DOA and Rand here. They might have this 1 or 2, but I put as 2 Limbo.
Limbo.
Yep.
Oh God, yes.
Great fucking game right there. I remember when we were playing it, and Rand was on there first, I believe, and then me and DOA jumped on there and caught up to him, and we were all 3 playing it basically at the same time, same areas, figuring out the puzzles.
Yeah, it was like co-op, but not like we're all like playing the level. Like we were literally waiting for each other. The first person to finish it would wait for the other 2 to get there, so we could all like figure it out and shit together.
Playing that, going for that one achievement at the end where you had to not die, was beat it with that less than
yeah.
5 deaths or something.
definitely a good puzzle platformer though. Yeah.
Yeah, really good puzzles on there. My list is just full of fucking puzzle games. But
I hear you, man. I mean, and there's so many good games out there on XBLA. Like there's so many games totally. It's really hard to compile a top 10. But all these other ones I keep hearing about. It's like, oh yeah, that should be.
I just really love a good puzzle game, and that's one of the best of them right there. That great looking game. I mean, it's just black and white, but it just the atmosphere. I don't know. It's something about it. It looked really good.
Have you played Winterbottom? That's another one similar to that.
No, I know what you're talking about, but no, I haven't played
Adventures
that one.
of PB Winterbottom or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of these puzzle platformers. If you like one of them, you'll probably like the other ones.
All right, DOA.
This one we're going real old here. Hexic HD.
Old school.
The
Installed on
original
the hard
launch game.
drive.
Yeah, I love I had never played Hexic before. That's the only game on my list that kind of is sort of retro, because that actually was out before the arcade. It was like on PC. But, I don't know. I love Hexic. I've played all versions of Hexic and completed all versions of Hexic.
Nice.
I love that game. So, anyway, like I said, everybody's played it. Go, Ryan.
Well, since Magic already said it, I'll make it my number 2. Limbo. Fucking game's awesome. I don't know what else there's there to say.
Even going for those black eggs. Remember we were trying to figure that out? And
Yep.
you had to beat the game without dying. It was the one that we thought people were just lying about. What a great game, man.
I actually tried that. I think I died one time at the end or some shit, but I died like once.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Like the 100 and 12%.
Yeah. You would.
Yeah, there was an extra 1% if you could beat it without dying at all.
Yeah.
For the leaderboards. Yeah, I remember that.
All right,
Carnage, number 1 time.
All right, drum roll, and the number 1 game of my list of top 10 XBLA games is the Trials series, or specifically probably Trials Evolution. That's the one I would go with. So Trials Evolution. I mean, obviously you guys remember Trials HD a few years back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And it's another platformer type of game. I mean, you're on a bike, but it's still like a platformer. I mean, because it's not as much as a racing game as some people think. It's more of like a action puzzle platformer in a sense, because you're trying to get through past different obstacles and ramps and whatnot. But it's another one of those games that's really hard to explain. It's just one that you need to try to see why it's so addicting. And another one where you compete with friends, and you can see their ghosts and everything, and like how close you are to beating their times. It's very competitive, and that's what makes it a lot of fun as well. But on top of that, it's the fact that Evolution added in different environments. I mean, remember HD was just in the boring warehouse. Like the gameplay was good, but you were just in a warehouse all the time. In Evolution, they really broke out into different themes, and had Wild West and the valleys and whatnot, and all different areas, space. And then, to be honest, the new one, like, it's good. Trials Fusion, it's a good game, but it's almost more of the same, and they don't even have online multiplayer added in. It almost feels like a beta right now. Like they're still adding features to it. So maybe it's hard to judge it right now, but so far, Trials Evolution is still my favorite arcade game. And did you guys play that one at all?
Yeah, I've played all 3 of them that have been on Xbox, and I'd agree with you. Evolution was my favorite also.
Yeah, and it's another game that has the level editor. And here's something interesting. When you were talking about Minecraft, I mean, some people are really into that and love creating their own type of levels. But here's something: I actually love creating or playing like custom levels in Trials. But it's surprising that I don't like it in creating stuff in Minecraft. The thing that I think differentiates it is that, like, in Minecraft, you're just creating it to like show it off. In Trials, you're actually like creating a track that you can ride and play. Like mini games, you can create all different types of mini games as well. It doesn't have to be a Trials track. I mean, there's all different types of
people
there's
make
like
some ridiculous stuff on there on Trials, man.
Yeah, there's stuff that you wouldn't even think it's like a different game. You can make like an Angry Birds clone. You can make a little shooter. You can make a racing top-down game. It just gives you like a really crazy amount of potential with the editor that they put in there. So yeah, that's a really fun multiplayer game as well. That has online and a huge single-player campaign. So very addicting. Definitely everyone should try that out if they haven't already.
I knew it would be on your top 10 when you got to number 2 and you still hadn't said Trials.
I
know Trials is coming as number 1.
I knew starting he was going to be his number 1.
I knew it was Evolution.
He's a Trials junkie.
You know what? It's a tough one because a lot of people know me from like playing a lot of Geometry Wars and all that. But like Trials, I would say is a little higher because it has the custom levels and the what's it called, the online multiplayer as well. So that kind of adds, and the graphics also on Trials are amazing. I'm not saying that Geometry Wars is bad graphics or anything, but Trials it just adds icing on the cake in my opinion.
Just Does that phone really ever come out?
The thing with the weird part about the phone, they have one on the iPhone and the Android, I believe, as well. It's called Trials Frontier, and it's a free-to-play game. Go figure. Ubisoft, I don't know what they're doing with that. I mean, it's probably alright. I haven't tried it. But I I haven't heard of any news of it coming to Windows Phone, or even with.
It will though.
or
I mean, they
without.
brought out Pirates this week.
You know
and
what?
that
You're
shit-
right.
That was out back in December. And
Yeah,
Ubisoft games are always like live enabled.
That is
Or
a
at
little
least
bit
so far.
reassuring. You're right, because there've been more Ubisoft like Xbox Live enabled Windows Phone games and Windows 8 games. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, you'll probably
hopefully
get
that
it
comes.
eventually. I was gonna say, and it'll probably have achievements. So good news
Yeah.
for you.
Yep.
All right, well, my number one, we already said it, but I'm saying it again, motherfuckers. Mark of the Ninja.
Nice. 3 times.
Yes, love that game. One of the best stealth games, period, that I've ever played. You know, better than
Now
a
I
lot
kind
of,
of-
better than a lot of retail stealth games. I mean, better
I was
than
gonna
Plus,
say,
how
now I
often
feel
do you get a
bad that-
2D stealth game?
And it was, I mean, it was simple. It was pure stealth mechanics. You know, one after another, just hiding in the shadows. The ways the shadows worked, and the doors, and the distractions, and there's so many different costumes, and one of the best stealth games I've ever played. Right up there, you know, I wouldn't put it above, but right up there near Blacklist and Chaos Theory and Blood Money. Right
Wow,
up there
nice.
near those. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I feel a little bad that I didn't have it in my top 10. I'm the odd one out now.
Yeah. I
Did you
love
even
that
finish
game.
it? I thought you said you never.
No, that's the thing though. I'm sure it's a great game. I just really hardly played it. Like there was so many games sometimes. So, but yeah, man, that's a good one.
Need to get on that shit.
All right, DOA. I think I might know.
Oh, I was gonna say that this is almost like not even worth talking about now, but Limbo.
Yeah,
It's definitely number one. I love Limbo. I was gonna say, like I said, Tetris Ultimate was my most anticipated game. I mean, Inside's number 2, but only because I don't know if I could like. Tetris is a sure thing. Inside, it's like I assume it'll be awesome, but there's always a chance it couldn't be. If it was Limbo 2,
Yeah.
then that would be my most anticipated. But since it's not Limbo 2,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
still
you don't
going
know
with
how
Tetris.
much they're
But
going
it's
to
the same
change it.
developer and it looks pretty similar.
Well, yeah, I
so
know. I would
probably
say that would
pretty
be my
sure.
number.
Yeah.
That would be my number 2 most anticipated game is Inside.
That's cool.
But Tetris is a sure thing, as like I said.
Right,
you know,
they can't fuck that up, definitely.
well, pretty much. I was like, you'd have to go way out of your way to fuck that up. I mean, that's a guaranteed. I'm gonna love it. Inside, there's always a chance that maybe this isn't nearly as good as Limbo.
Yeah,
You know,
valid
that's the
point.
only reason. So, all right, we'll go Ran.
I'm sure you could guess my number one then, DOA.
Oh, what, Mark of the Ninja?
No, I already said Mark and Ninja.
Oh, no, did you?
before.
Okay.
Oh wait, let me
You're gonna-
guess. Actually, Dust and Elysian Tale.
No, I do like that game. That would probably be in the like
Because
if
I
I
know
did
you
the
said
top
you like
15.
Metroidvania, so.
I do.
Oh, wait,
do
I know
really
what it
like
is. It's fucking worms. No.
Dust. No, but it's a game you didn't like that I kind of made you play. But Brother is a Tale of Two Sons.
Oh, God.
Wow.
I'm out.
Okay,
Yeah.
first of all, in the party, who finished the game after all the achievements?
I did.
I'm sure you did.
I did.
Randall.
I did.
I did.
I wish I hadn't,
did
too.
too.
That made it worse. I think I liked
I
it
know
better.
it was a sad ending.
I was gonna say that last 15 minutes. I'm like, why'd you tell me to play this, Rand? This fucking like this game just went from like an 8 to like a 5. It was like what a bullshit ending.
The end is what made that game get like 9.5, 9.8, like almost a. It's just that the entirety of the game is leading up to that moment. You know, like it's just
Yeah.
it's so great.
Excellent
I don't
story.
know.
I do agree.
It's amazing.
I haven't played the game. I'm assuming one of the brothers dies.
Spoilers,
Yippee.
God.
Yeah.
Fucking
I
get
mean,
outta here.
you can't talk about sad endings, and the game is called.
Well, that's what I didn't like about it. I mean, it's not just that one of them died, but it felt so forced to me. Like, I felt like when you're writing a movie or anything, you start at the beginning and you write to the end. I felt like on that game that somebody wrote the end and then everything else was just building up to death. You know, it's like,
DOA also didn't like it that they don't really speak English. It's kind of a gibberish language. He's like,
well, yeah, it's
"Don't-
like-
they don't.
Well,
That doesn't bother me
DOA
at all.
also hates like.
Hey, they
anything
did that
with
in
a sad
Banjo
ending.
Kazooie, and not many people complained back then. That was a great game.
that was different though. I mean, how many N64 games had fucking? You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah. There was no excuse to not have. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I was gonna say. To me,
But
we've moved past that.
But I don't know if they intended on it, or if maybe that was just their, if there was their style, or they just didn't bother doing it. I don't know. But either way, it's that was probably the least, you don't have to worry about that part of the game that much. They told the story throughout without the voice, so.
Ran over here pandering to the critics. Walking Dead Game of the Year. Brothers Xbox Game of the Year.
Definitely some surprising ones, yeah. But cool.
I did not think of that though. By the way, Ran. I was like, you're like, oh, he'll probably guess it. I'm like, I will.
fuck, I love that game, man. What do you want me to do? And I read that shit before reviewers had their say. So I played it before all that crap. I was like, I'm playing this game. I don't fucking give a shit. It is a game though you could beat without getting any achievements either. Because all the achievements are kind of off the beaten path.
Yep. Definitely a lot of missable.
Right, well.
Yeah, it had an interesting control mechanic also. Like, it wasn't really a dual stick like shooter, but it was like a dual stick. I don't even know how you describe it. It was interesting.
Well, each stick was one brother.
Yeah, I always had to keep like one brother, the left one on the left side and the right one on the right side. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then when they switch positions, it just kind of is like, oh, blew my mind.
Yep.
Like Watch Dogs all over again. No.
And by blow his mind, he means he's walking into walls and the water. And
another one that's like that with the two control sticks that people told me to play Watch Dogs because of that, but it's that old arcade game Schizoid. Remember that one? You're messing around with like two control sticks. I don't know if you guys tried that one.
No.
But you control two different ships at once. It's not really a shooter, but you just like you have the blue ship that can only eat blue things and the orange that can only eat orange things, and it really gets crazy when you start mixing them up.
So when you say Watch Dogs, we're talking about the drinking game.
Yeah, that's
well,
what
we were talking about the left stick and right stick. Yeah.
Right. I've never played Watch Dogs, but people told me that if I like Schizoid and that type of concept, then I'll like the drinking game. But I don't think I'll like it after hearing all the bitching about that achievement.
No, the drinking game sucked. Fuck the drinking game.
It didn't suck. It was just hard. Doesn't mean it sucked.
It was also long. It wasn't just that it was hard, but it was like every time you do one, I've got to listen to this guy across the table yammer on and drink his drink. It's like, get on. Can I just skip this shit and go do the next one?
Yeah.
God, it was aggravating as fuck. Ugh.
Well, that's it for our top 10 arcade games, and that's all the time we have for this week.
And thank you, Connor, for being on.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys. It was fun.
Good having
I was
you.
say, we didn't get enough in with it. I think it went long, so we'll have to have you back at some point, if you don't mind, of course.
Sounds good.
I was like,
Can't help
you guys
being
are kind of bored.
sarcastic. Yeah, okay. Never mind.
When we get him back, we'll probably have 1 million at Xbox games, and he'll be in heaven like, oh, these arcade games, oh my god, what am I gonna do?
I was just say, everybody's got to go quiet.
Okay.
Well, I didn't have to be super quiet, but I like to let it come in slow. What?
Not sex.
Says you. You don't look down when you're doing this, do you? You guys ready to start?
Ooh, I got 100 extra lives. Now I got 1,008 lives. What?
Yep, ready when you are.
Hold on, let me just exit out of this
1,008
game.
lives.
Wait, what?
Later, all.
Later, all.
God. Jesus.